Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the KFC, the Kung Fu Cup, week number 5. Your weekly dose of Kung Fu Cup action. I'm of course your VIP with you, and joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome, one and all, to our second broadcast of the day. Earlier this morning, of course, we were live with the Pegasus Cup, and now we have returned with Kung Fu Cup. Again, weekly open tournaments run by SC Boy, of course. SC Boy, with recent support by NetEase as well, have been running more and more events and have been providing more to the scene and to the community as well. So much love to SC Boy for bringing back Kung Fu Cup on a regular weekly basis. And here, we're ready to jump in, Bearing in mind, of course, this is a replay cast from last week's event. This week's Kung Fu Cup is going to be in a couple of hours' time, basically as we wrap up. As we do wrap up again, nowadays it just does begin a little bit too late for us, where we prefer to have a bit of an earlier broadcast instead. As we're jumping into the quarterfinals, here, it's going to be a best of 3 between Clem and Zhao. Let us go. We're jumping into our series, jumping into our matchup. It is going to be a TVP here, and we'll see how Zhao can handle himself. As of late, Zhao has been going through the ringer, by the way. I'm still thinking about GSLCK, where he was just pitted against Maru time and time again. Actually did beat him, to be fair. did stand tall against Maru, but that was in a best of 1 format. What about in a best of 3 against Clem? Let's go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the blue Terran player. We have the French Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss player himself from the South Korea, representing onside. It is Zhao. So let us go. Again, jumping into our quarterfinals, into our first best of 3 of the broadcast, we have our TVP, and coming into this, we'll see how Zhao will approach. Zhao, he does at times take more unorthodox approaches here, often much more aggressive, much more aggressive. This is applicable to every single matchup, PvP, ZVP, and TVP as well. Zhao, he is more than willing to be in your face and very very aggressive in said matchup. We'll see how he will approach Clem. Against Maru, we did see Zhao actually excel in the mid to late game, gaining map control and taking that base advantage and overwhelming Maru. That is true. We saw that on a larger map, but here we're loading into a smaller map in the map pool. Shorter rush distance by ground, bear that in mind. So it is going to be a little bit more difficult for Zhao to really end up in that situation where he can gain map control, contain his opponents, and try to break through. Here I would lean more towards Clem being the aggressor instead. For now, single gas, racks expand, economic start at a Clem. We'll see where he leads us though, whether he goes into a Widowmine drop, into Banshee play instead, into earlier Cyclones, into earlier tank push. We'll see where Clem takes us. Once again, this map does typically favor aggression. There you go. Oh, now we have the answer here. It is going to be a Tech Lab opener into Marauder. Okay, so a couple of things are happening here. First things first, it was an economic start by Clem. True, CC on the low ground, and Clem just got scouted, right? Clem, he just got scouted by the probe, so Clem knows that there's a high chance that Zhao attempts to punish this greed, that he attempts to punish the CC on low ground by going Adept first. We can see Stalker first, but you can see the rally here all the way across the map. The goal is still the same, to disrupt and to delay the command center. And Clem, he's banking on that. He wants Zhao to send the first unit across the map, and you can see the first Stalker, the first Adept are on the way, and the goal here is for Clem to catch that first unit with the Concussive Shell, with Marauders. So this is to punish the punish, essentially. So a bit of mind games here by Clem, as he's just expecting a certain reaction and a certain response out of Zhao. Is his expectation. Meanwhile, behind this, with the initial Rax opener into early Marauder, leads into naturally a 3 Rax follow-up. Now, upon the revelation of this Marauder, Zhao, he will know it's either going to be a 3 Rax or a 3CC 3 Rax. Those are the 2 common responses after the Marauder opener. Meanwhile, the Marauder is revealed, but ooh, quick reaction by Zhao, he does pull away. He does pull away, does not get shot. We can see Clem, ideally he does want to intercept, but the Stalker should be hugging the edge of the map, and does race home. It does race home. So shout out to Zhao. Zhao, he did react very quickly. He did not get caught. Zhao, he races back. Meanwhile, you can see Clem, he wants to try to cut him off. Oh. Yeah, Clem, he's looking to try to cut him off. We do have Adepts coming in to reinforce, and Zhao should make it out. They should make it out here. There's a shade. Stalker does pull back and makes it to the battery, and Zhao holds. again, really nice movement. Really nice movement here by Zan. Very impressive. He pulls away, kills a Marine, and now he can even punish the Marauders. Yeah, so who catches who? Stalker pulls back. Oh, can he get away? No, he can't. We end up trading. We end up trading here. 1 for 1. 1 Marauder for 1 Stalker. More Marauders have arrived. They do catch another Adept. They shouldn't catch the final one, though. Yeah, it does make it back in time. Zan will hold. A bit of a back and forth, a bit of a trade. Once again, Clem getting punished. Once again, still rallying more Marauders across the map. Another Marauder goes down. And behind this, where we're taking us, again, through X stim timing. It's a very fast stim timing here for Clem. This is going to be hyper aggressive. This can hit very, very hard. And what's more important is that Zan does not know. Zan, he did not get into the main base. So again, he doesn't know the timing of the Raxes. I mean, with the reinforcing Marauders, he can have an idea that it should be at least a second Rax. Behind this, we have extra gateways on the way. We have 4 gate blink. So hyper aggression here by Zan. He's going to double down. He's going to delay his third in favor of Mass Stalker to break out across the map. Now, who do we favor here? Now, if there were no tanks, and there aren't any, true, there's no tank production, there's no factory, and if there was no stim, I would favor Zan. But stim is now done. Stim is done. It's a heavy Marauder count. And Clem, he's hitting just as Blink is going to finish up here. Actually, they pass by each other. Oh, they're passing by. We're going for the base trade. Clem, he does hit the natural. At the same time, Zan turns around. Okay, he does turn around. He's racing back home. Battery's exposed. Nice snipe of the battery. Yeah, there's no more support here. No more shield batteries. Does step on in. Gets 1, gets 2. Yeah, 2 Stalkers do fall. Yeah, we got a blink, Pappy. We got a blink. He blinks in. Oh, he's crazy. Yeah, blinks into the army. The boys are being pulled. Probe's going to be going down. And Zan, he will clean this up, but at a cost. At a cost here, 7 probes do fall. Some brutal economic damage. Behind this, Clem still building up more Marines, more Marauders. He did cripples down, and is that enough to take it from here? Bearing in mind, still no command center. He's getting his factory into starport, into medevac support. So big delay on the 3rd CC. Clem trying to catch up the army. Oh, doesn't quite get the Stalker. Zan pulls away. Remember, he can warp in 4 Stalkers at a time. Remember, Zan, he did not expand. Zan needs to base all in. He's all in himself. He dives on the army, and Zan, does he have enough? The stim is here to punish. Ooh, catching out more Stalkers. Nice target firing out of Clem. Clem is holding. Clem is holding on. Zan, he needs more damage. Now going for the Bay on 2 bases into Colossus production. Zan, he believes he cannot kill. And if we're talking 2 base versus 2 base, I do favor the Terran. This is where Clem has a greater economy. He can build up the larger army. And the onus is on Zan. He does catch a couple of SCVs. It's 2, 3 SCVs going down. Not bad. Doesn't lose any Stalkers. Once again, Zan, he's rotating. Clem having a hard time keeping up. 3rd CC now has begun. Let's go to 3rd command center. War Prism does distract. As he distracts, Bunker is going to fall. No repairs. Yeah, late repair here by Clem. Catching out 1 Stalker. Prism is turned away. And Zan now expands. But remember, the 3rd CC for Clem is much faster. It's much, much faster. So should have a faster transition in towards the 3rd. Did he just kill his own Marauder? Did we just? Yeah, he did. I was like, how did that Marauder die? Clem, calm down. Calm down. Oh. It's not about to get sniped. Oh. Going for the 2nd stim. Chases down back in. Clem, he's actually rallying with everything, by the way. Like, he's committing. And with this army, he might even deny the expansion. The Colossus is too far away. Yeah, we're going to drop into the main base, distracting Zan, distracting the Colossus. Going for the pylon. Yeah, he will lose this drop, but at the same time, what about the expansion? Oh, it's going to be killed. It's going to be killed, not a cancel. Zan completely out of position. That 1 drop, it may have gone down, may not have killed much at all, but was worth it. Was more than worth it. Completely distracting Zan. He reacted with the entire army. And now it's time for Clem to just survive. Just survive. Zan is all in. Like, Zan is completely all in. Losing that 3rd base was brutal. Clem is racing back home. Xian also going across the map. And no bunkers. No bunkers, but there are some Vikings. Okay, Vikings have arrived. The army does make it back home in time. Woodmine does borrow. Does borrow, does bait out a blink. And we have that back and forth. See, oh, and Clem's getting caught out here. Who catches who? Yeah, Clem bleeding out a bunch of marauders. Does try to save. Ah, nice retargeting. Very nice retargeting out of Clem. Does focus on those Stalkers. Zelta holding as well. Now mainly Stalker Colossus. Vikings in an awkward position, awkward angle. He does go for the dive. He gets one. Ooh, barely dots. He wants them. Yeah, the Colossus, they should eventually go down, and Clem overwhelms. Clem overwhelms the army. In the end, that was all that we had left. Colossus falls. GG gets called, and Clem, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Clem, he'll take a lead in the series. Again, it was just a very rough start there for Xian. Xian stuck on 4 Gateblink Stalker. If you remember, he himself was 2 base all in, and he failed to break Clem. Clem was able to excel early on when it came to killing workers. Remember, he killed, what, 7 to 9 probes at the start of the game with the early sim timing, was able to cripple his opponents, cripple Xian. We did mention that at the time. The Xian was crippled, forced a counterattack, and the counterattack did not do enough. The 4 Gateblink did not do enough damage. He was able to kill a bunker. That's kind of it. He killed a bunker, he sniped a couple of marauders. It was not worth it for Xian. Xian, he tried to transition into the mid game by going into Colossus and getting his 3rd base, and we saw that one drop in the main base for Clem did win him the game, essentially, as he was able to distract Xian entirely, caused a massive distraction, came in, killed the 3rd, forced the all-in, and then Clem survived said all-in. GG. GG, well played. With that, Clem takes a lead, and now we're going to be loading the game number 2, going to be loading into Tourmaline. Let's go. Let us go. Winding it back, as a reminder, of course, Ruby Rock does favor aggression, and Clem did go 3x. He went for a 3x stim timing. Meanwhile, coming into game number 2, I bring this up because game 2 is on Tourmaline. Aggression is also favored here as well, even more greatly. Aggression is favored, so we expect all-ins, we expect aggression. We'll see what Clem goes for this time. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing onside. It is Xian. So, let us go. Welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline again, a smaller map in the map pool, a very short rush distance by ground. Aggression is heavily favored as the 3rd is open, the 4th is open, the center is open. It's all open, pappy, and short rush distance. So we'll see how our players will adjust. We'll see how they will approach. Show us what you got. Here we go. From here we are going to be building up. Again, just a rack expand. Standard opener here, economic opener by Clem. 2 games in a row, not going for the second gas. So he's going for the faster command center. We'll see if he goes for it on the low ground or on the high ground. Based on the map, I wouldn't be opposed to it being on the high ground just to be a little bit safer. Xian is also looking to check. He's here to check, here to confirm. As looks like Xian, he will delay, does disrupt. As he will force down the second SCV. There's that command center on location. We have our Marine first, and do we go for the tech lab or do we go for the factory? I think we have the answer. Okay, so we're going for the faster factory. This time we're not opening up Marauder. Of course, Xian does not know. Xian is unaware. We have the tech lab, but this should just be for an add-on swap. Add-on swap into early Cyclone play. Into a 1-1-1. I'm assuming 1-1-1. Technically, if a second and third racks get thrown down, that's indicative of a 2-base all-in. As I mentioned, there's the add-on swap into Cyclone. Just a safe play here by Clem. Allows him to catch any early gateway units, allows him to defend against any stray like oracles or Stargate opener into the main. Back at home, Twilight Council into Blink. Eyes are open for how many gateways Down throws down, and likewise, we should be seeing Clem maintain his position here. Adept is on the way, but Clem, sorry, Stalker's on the way, and Adepts as well, but Clem should maintain his natural. There we go. Just waiting for that Cyclone. Just waiting for that gas. From here we are getting out our Cyclones. Extra gateways on the way as well. Again, this time, oh, never mind. I was gonna say this time we should be seeing something a little bit more tamer here, and I guess it is still tamer. This is 3-gate Blink out of Zound, 3 gateways. Nowhere near as aggressive as last time. And we should be just seeing 3-gate Blink, Robo into a 3rd expansion. Meanwhile, standard follow-up here by Clem. Going for his add-on swap into Ravens. Drop is moving out. Again, this time a much more tame at mid-game from Clem. We're just taking up. Both players are. Players are taking. Clem jumping into the main. Trying to catch out the Stalker. Lock-on is broken. Breaks the lock-on, zones back the army. Send back. Likewise, Clem pulling away. He does pull away. Third base not being taken for Zound. And from here, we're just building up into said mid-game. I mean, sure, we're going to be harassing the Raven. Ooh, gets caught out. Very nice catch from Zound. Okay. Snipes the Raven, does lose a single probe. Bay is now on the way for Colossal production, and Zound, he has a much more comfortable start getting into the mid-game. Remember last game, he was stuck on 4-gate Blink, he was stuck on 2 bases. This time, the 3rd is safe. This time, he's able to take up, and this time, Zound has map control. He has map control. Clem throwing down 2 bunkers. Yeah, big reaction here from Clem, trying to hold on, waiting for his tanks. And Clem, he should be fine, he should be secure, but it's just about containing. It's all about containing Clem. Just keep him pinned down. Just keep him pinned. Down, taking up. And we're waiting for the big move out here from Clem. Basically, he's stuck on 2 bases until Stim finishes. So once Stim is done, once the upgrades kick in, then Clem can break out, can start to push, and start to expand. Until then, though, speaking of, there it is. There it is. 3rd CC on the high ground. Clem is just fortifying himself. And for the time being, it's going to be on Zound to make sure he keeps eyes on any kind of drop play. And also, if he sees an opening, if he sees any stray units, to try to punish. Clem is ready for the War Prism. He's in position. Colossus still amassing. From here, we can work towards either a Storm or a 2nd Robo and Colossus Intervention Disruptors. Oh, Clem doesn't siege. Breaks out. Does break out. Does force the blink. Does force the blink. Does give chase. There's going to be 1, soon to be 2 Colossus to defend. As Clem moves out, we have a Zound moving in. What do we have to defend? Not much. Cyclone. Okay, Cyclone does stay back. We already have that first Stim. Prism into the main base. The cycle lock-on is still going to maintain, actually. He gets it. Oh my god. Takes down the Prism. And Clem defends. Yeah, Clem, he does defend. And meanwhile, the tanks do siege. He's steaming on forward. Ooh, massive tank shots going off. And Zan is in trouble. The Colossus. Oh, it does pull away. Yeah, Colossus pulls away, but alas, the Gateway army is struggling. Oh my god, that drop though. 14 SCVs. I assumed that this would be a little bit better here. The Prism went down, that is true. But 14 SCV kills, that is insane. That's a full mineral line. Aye, that should not have happened. That one Zealot drop. The 4 Zealots, they were crazy. 14 SCV kills. And Clem is hurting. Clem is hurting. Sure, Clem, he was able to catch one. He was able to trade. He was able to trade with the army, take down the Prism, trade with the Gateway units, but failed to get a Colossus. Didn't push into the bases. Clem is in trouble. That one Prism drop. I mean, that's wasn't even a warp in either, just the drop. Oh, Clem getting caught out, losing the tank immediately. And Zan is here to force the ace match. He's here to force it. Cleans up the army. Forcing Clem back, even losing medevac. GG gets called, and Zan ties up the series. We are going all the way to game number 3. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Clem, he was more or less in position with the Cyclone. He broke out once Stim was done. Everything was looking good there for Clem. He even had a good fight as well. But it was the economic damage. Losing 14 SCVs, that was brutal. That was game then and there. I'd say that was game. That forced a reaction out of Clem. That forced him to be aggressive, but he got caught down the center of the map. And then there was no way to recover from that moment. Clem, he had to be hyper aggressive, and he lost his main army. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have a back and forth. We have that back and forth. We're going to be loading into game number 3. We're getting to the ace match. Let's go. All the way to the ace match here. Going to be loading into White Rabbit. And again, just a surprising amount of damage dealt by that War Prism. Partially also on the Cyclone, right? If you remember, the Cyclone was a little bit late to get into the main base, so I was a little bit later to bring down the Prism itself. But clearly, Clem also wasn't very attentive when it came to his defenses back at home, when it came to preserving his SCVs, as things very quickly got out of hand. And here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the French Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing onside. It is Zan. Here we go. Also, before I get ahead of myself, and I was just so engrossed in the initial games and in the event itself, I was like, getting the show up and running, the show going. Thank you so much, and a big shout out to Monteon in the chat. Gracias, papi. We do appreciate it. We do appreciate the support for the $100 donation for the Vet Bunny Fund. Thank you, papi. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate greatly. Este Monteon. So getting into the rest of our series, getting into the rest of our broadcast, bearing in mind that we're going to be covering the semifinals after this. So we have our quarterfinals match. We're going to be following the winner of this series into the semis, into the grand finals. Going to be 4 series in total. I should also actually mention as well, something that you might be interested in, is that this week we will be co-streaming GSL. Originally we were going to be casting it via replays, but no, we are going to be streaming it live, not via replays. And yeah, it's going to be a bit of a newer experience. Once again though, just like GSLCK, it's going to be over on Soup. Just as a bit of a caveat there, it's going to be on the Soup platform, where we will have the next day, like hours later, we will have the rebroadcast on Twitch and the rebroadcast on YouTube, of course. But the main live coverage is going to be over on Soup. Just as a bit of a PSA. It's a PSA. Here we go. Here we go. For now, once again, we're opening up. Once again, single gas opener out of Clem. This time we're going for a reactor, not going for the earlier factory or the earlier tech lab. So racks expand into marine, into bunker, into reactor, into a more mineral heavy opener. Preserving that gas. This means that we're not going to be opening up Cyclone, so I'm curious here. No shot. He's going 3cc 3 racks. I see. That's why. That's why we had minimal gas income. That's why we were not spending any gas here either. We're just being hyper greedy here, rushing to a fast third base. We're pulling a Bjorn. Bjorn is very fond of this build. If this goes unpunished, then Clem will have a very strong mid game. It's just a hyper greedy build. Hyper greedy build. What does this mean? This means that Clem, he'll have faster 2 base saturation and faster 3 base saturation, because he'll be making 3 SCVs at a time, and he'll be having an extra mule as well. So hyper greed here by Clem. The downside is that he's going to be very vulnerable. This build specifically means that stim is going to be delayed, factory is going to be delayed, tanks are going to be delayed, right? Like we're getting some big delays here for Clem, and it means that a 3 or 4 gate blinking player can punish him. Zaun, back at home, so far he's opening up blink, but Zaun has no idea as to how greedy Clem is being. Zaun is in the dark. He's aware of the reacted marine, that's all he sees. Zaun is still unaware. Still does need to piece it all together. Still does need to piece it all together. From here we do have our robot follow-up, 2 more gateways, so again 3 gate blink, very safe play here by Zaun. You can still be hyper aggressive with 3 gate blink stalkers, but only if you know to be aggressive. To get that prism to move out across the map, to apply pressure, to go for a later expansion. Clem checking for the third. Does keep rechecking. Does keep rechecking. From here, we still have no third expansion. The prism is moving out across the map. We have our 4 stalkers. Only 4. Here comes that third base. And Zaun is going to apply some pressure here, but he's not really too committed. Like, he's not warping in. Yep, now he knows. He scouts the third base immediately. He's like, ooh, ay. Zaun threatening a dive. We have 2 bunkers here at the natural. Clem is perfectly fine, and Zaun, he'd already committed into the third base. He'd already committed into teching. He's already got the bay. We have charge on the way. We have extended the lance, so colossal production as well. That means that Zaun, he cannot apply any pressure. He cannot break through. Clem now he has stim. Stim is already done. Clem can break out. He can break out, so now we can expand. And Clem is looking very comfortable here. Supplies are neck and neck, but I mean the soup does lie, papi. Soup does lie. From here, once the third base gets fully operational, then Clem he can just shoot ahead. Does with the Colossus. Clem's gonna calm down. He's just poking in. War Prism does threaten the third and the main. Has yet to commit. Oh! Going for the warp in. Toss warp in. Catching out 1 SCV. This does distract, but as you mentioned, like Clem, he's happy to just build up from here. And now you can see the disparity getting larger and larger between Clem and Zaun. As Clem's not getting a second starport. Quadruple Viking production. Sound he attempts to move in. Gonna be pushing into a flank though. Yeah, poison being pulled. Stalkers are on their own. Where are the zealots? Yeah, no zealots. No zealots, no supports. Heavy losses there for Sound. Force fields they do buy some time at least. They choke up the army. Okay. Nice force fields. Nice force fields. Sound has to back off. He cannot gain ground. Nor with so few zealots. And we should be seeing Clem push out once he gets a comfortable Viking count. So just building with Vikings, going for his drop. Does find the fourth. We'll lose the medevac. We'll lose everything. Ideally, a drop like this is meant to distract while the main army pushes, but Clem was at home. So a little bit wasteful there by Clem. Was wasteful. And Danny's hoping for more of this. If he's maybe a little bit too cavalier with certain drops, with certain move outs, then maybe he can be punished. That's the hope. So I'll say to slip in. Some of the bases. Catching out a couple of SCVs. And Clem will be the first to max. He'll be the first to max out. He's got 10 Vikings. We have 3 ghosts on the way. Xian is going to be heavily reliant on these disruptors, on the purification novas. Heavily reliant. And we'll see if we can pull this off. Xian is moving in. Oh! Breaks forward. I'm shocking around. He wants those Colossus. He finds them. Oh, there he goes off. Grazing the army. No major connection yet. So we have 2 more Novas. Oh, nice splits. Yeah, nice split towards the end. There's 1 Nova left. At the same time, SCVs are going down. Very nice LRMI. 11 SCV kills. Solid damage. Nova zoning once again. And Xiani's catching back up. Something else that I noticed here is that Clem, he never began 2-2. He's got the E-base. He's had a +1 for a couple of minutes now. Okay, speaking of, he's listening. There we go. +2 has begun. But it has been delayed. It has been delayed here. Ghost gets caught. Xiani's got to be careful. Jumping on the right-hand side. And Clem is out of position, by the way. This base is exposed. The bunker will buy some time. Bunker should fall. Clem, yes, to evacuate. Again, just completely out of position. But no major damage. 2 SCVs. 2 SCVs. Recalls back home. Recall's only part of his army. He gets caught out. That sound. Who catches who here? Xian is sure he was able to poke in, able to get some damage done. Bleeds out a Colossus. Not like this. Jesus, he's got what? He's got 8 disruptors. That's a lot of Novas. Observer does spot the drop. Sound, he should be aware. Should be. Nervous and swinging away. Clem going for that June drop in towards that third. The fourth even. He's going for it. At the same time, Zan is distracted. Zan's distracted, drop into the main base, going for the tech. Zan focusing on the main fight. And this is getting out of hand. Yeah, this is getting out of hand at this point. We have a couple of defensive DTs. EMP's going to be landing. Vikings, they just go to town. They almost get a Colossus. Almost. And this job was just never dealt with. Yeah, it was never dealt with here. Depowers the main base. Sniping the bay. Colossus being chased down. And sure, we have a couple of Novas here, but it doesn't matter. The base still falls. 16 probes. 16 probes. 5th expansion. The job is still wreaking havoc in the main. It was never dealt with. Still going. Even these immortals cannot push in. We just dropped to low ground. We just dropped to low ground at the same time. DTs across the map, killing some workers, but nowhere near as much. 26 probes. And Zan has just been torn apart. He's just been torn apart. Oh, he goes to the knife. Oh my god, massive connections. You get this 8 disruptors, massive connections here. The Novas are popping up, but it doesn't matter. It's not good enough. It's not good enough, Pappy. As disruptors, 5 of them do still get away. Again, those are some crazy connections. The splits were not there. But Clem, he still be dropping. This one drop is still going off, by the way. It's been like, what, 4 minutes? Ah. Drop is still popping up. Man army rallying across. And Clem is almost remaxed. And again, Zan, he's still trying to hang in there. I mean, thanks to his disruptors earlier, he was able to deal with most of the army. But Clem has an economy. He can rebuild. Cannon he is. And now we're forced to engage. Disruptors a little bit later to the party here. Zelts go down. We have 5 Novas. We have the Novas. And again, Zani's able to hold his own, but it's the economy that's hurting him. That's really killing him. He's got halfway standing here. He's oversaturated on the right-hand side. Oh, Prism gets caught out. Attempted flank. There's a world, okay? There's a world where if Zan can land these Novas, if he can clean up this army more efficiently, then maybe he might be able to break through into some of the bases. There's a chance, but once again, Clem is forcing Zan to chase him. It's just buying more time. Buying more time. Getting more orbitals, more bases. 3-3 now on the way. It's late, but it's getting there. It's getting there, Pappy. Dives into the main expansion. Once again, Zan trying to respond. The main base will fall. Yeah, we just keep dropping. We just keep dropping. Keep pulling Zan apart. Fresh expansion is going to fall as well. Zan just doesn't have the supply. Just cannot keep up. Not like this. Doesn't have the suit. Oh, it's this. Oh, there we go. I'll take this as scan. Zan's still stuck on 40 workers. Still stuck on 3 bases even. And there it is. Clem now does take a fit. Taking his 5th base. Oh, Shema, papi, Shema. Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos. Clem is dropping in. And just getting whatever he can. Forcing Zal's hand. Zal, he knows he has to push. Also has Novas. To the natural. You see that Zal does not want to get surrounded. Doesn't want to get boxed in. Hey, gets a mineral line. Jesus, that's going to be 18 SCV kills. Oh my god. Okay, 19. 19 workers going down. There's a recall by Clem. The recall is denied. Oof. Denies the recall. Likewise, Clem catching out an entire mineral line. Oh my god. Clem may have lost 25 SCVs, but at the same time, he does kill 18. But we're getting messy. Getting messy. We're getting rowdy. Getting rowdy. Bleeding out medevacs. Bleeding out units. Clem still has a fresh base. Now so does Down. Taking that center expansion. Okay, Clem still has had the lead for quite some time at this point, for what, 8 minutes. But Zal doing everything he can to just close that gap. To close that gap, even here, getting into the middle line, catching more CVs, shows us Novas. And it was going to be going up. Ooh, catching at the army. Good connections. Oh my god, connecting once again. Novas connecting, but there's just a Sea of Terran. Yeah, Sea of Terran this time. Novas are not going to be good enough. Force the fight, to break through the Zealots. And Clem has done it. GG gets called. Clem, he'll take the series 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. An intense back and forth here between Clem and Zal. Clem having a much stronger start this time, though. In game 3, we saw that Clem went for a very fast third. He went for a very fast third CC and he did not get punished. As a result of that, he had a very comfortable mid game, and as opposed to the dynamic that we usually have in mid to late game TVP, where the Protoss player has map control and the Terran player is contained, because Clem had the greater economy, he could actually be active on the map and rotate and push in and punish, and it all culminated into that one big doom drop into the main base of Zal, which Zal did not take seriously. Remember, it was like a quadruple doom drop into the main, was able to cripple the production, the tech, the economy, and it took so long for it to finally be dealt with. And even then, like by the time it was, Zal, he was just torn apart. There were a couple of nice moments for Zal, like DT harass, Zealot run bys. There were a couple of nice moments here and there. He was able to catch some full medevacs or kill some workers, but wasn't good enough. GG. GG, well played. With that, Clem, he'll advance on into the next round, and we have his next opponent ready. It's going to be another TVP, but the roles have been reversed. This time it is going to be Clem as the Protoss and his opponent as the Terran. It's going to be a TVP between Clem and Cure. Oh boy. Let us go. Bearing in mind, of course, it's been over a year since Clem has competed and played in a TVT. Clem, that was, of course, notoriously his weakest matchup, and he has abandoned the idea of playing with Terran versus Terran. His PvT instead has been much, much stronger, to the point where he is straight up one of the best PvT players in the world. But he's also up against his teammates, and also one of the best TVP players as well. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the French Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Liquid as well. Their teammates, it is Cure. Hello. Curious. So we are going to be opening up. Okay, just setting up. So I just noticed that Curious set a camera hotkey here, which I thought was interesting, but looks like just for a future base. Now we're just going to be calming down, just settling in. Economic open out of here, going for the Rax Expand. Meanwhile, Clem eyes are on our Protoss player to see how he does at Tech Up as well. When it comes to Clem's PvT, he's often very standard. He doesn't really deviate too much from Twilight Council play. It's quite rare to see Clem go Stargate or go Robo. So Twilight Council into Blink is the expected early to mid game out of Clem. We'll see if he does mix things up. Here we go. But yeah, Clem's PvT is insane. Likewise, so is Cure. Cure, he has arguably like the second best PvP in the world, second only to Clem, alongside Maru. Cure's an animal in this matchup. So, not an easy opponent. Likewise, I'm sure they do practice a lot together as well when it comes to customs. Or even just theory. Now Clem is going to be zoned away. Okay, there's a more economic start out of Cure. I'm going for the reactor follow-up, not Tech Lab. And from here we should be going for either the factory or a fast third CC. A fast third feels crazy on 10,000 feet though. Like actually, that I'm not so sure about. Yep, there it is. So we're going for the first, now second, and soon to be third racks. Okay, so 3 rack stim here out of Cure. Hyper aggression makes sense. Welcome to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet has the shortest rush distance out of any other map in the map pool. Very short rush distance. Aggression is favored, and we're going for an early stim timing. Meanwhile, it's going to be on Clem to figure out what's going on. Pressure's on Clem. Here he's going for his Twilight Council. He's going for his council. Oof. So far, nice. We're also getting 2 Marines. Yeah, 2 Marines go down, but the bunker does finish, and Cure will hold. Despite that, nice Pigos here from Clem. Does reinforce, shading towards said mineral line. Does commit. Goes for the SCVs. Denies mining at least. Denies mining and doesn't quite get the Marine. Ooh, gets an SCV though. Not bad. Nice little pickoffs. And behind this, working towards Blink, which is to be expected. Again, like 3-gate Blink is the go-to for Clem. That is his second gateway. We'll see if he gets a third. Likewise, Stim is coming. Now, can Clem piece together what's going on? If you recall, Clem did not get into the main. He didn't get into the main base. He has seen purely Marines, but for all he knows, it could be a 2-on-1, it could be a 3-Rex, it could be a 3CC 3-Rex as well. There's still a couple of builds that this still falls underneath. So Clem is still not entirely aware as to how aggressive his opponent's being. And we're actually not going 3-gate Blink, we're going 2-gate Blink into a third. Very greedy build here by Clem. Ooh, that's concerning. That is a concern. So Clem, he's going to be skipping warp-ins, he's going for less gateways, he's going for a faster third, he's being quite greedy, and Cure is going to punish that greed. Now he scouts! Wait, does he? No shot. He did. Okay. Did scout, did confirm all 3 Raxes. Now Clem knows. Here comes Cure. He commits. And can Clem survive? So the army has a mass. Clem has 5 Stalkers. Cure waiting for another wave. There we go. We just pulled the boys. Okay, just 2 base all in. So the 2 base all in variation sends it here. He's sending it. Boys being pulled. Army gets spotted. Clem, he doesn't engage ahead of time. At least he tries to. Ideally, he wants to pick away the army, and he does get 1 SCV. Gets 1, gets a Marine. Nice force field. Slowing this down. Oh, zones away the Marines. Very nice. 5 SCVs. Strong start. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Clem. So just buying time, picking up more workers, removing that buffer, pulls back to the battery. Immortal is out. The army does stim in. Yeah, stims forward, zones back Clem, gets into the mineral line. And can Clem deal with this? Is it too much? Oof. Yeah, depowers the robo, depowers the gateway. Once again, very nice force fields, ensuring that part of the army just is not attacking. And Clem is holding. Yeah, Clem is holding on. Nice focus firing here on the Marauder. He blinks forward. Calculated move, and with that, Clem, he'll clean everything up. 14 SCVs, the army falls, and Cure, he has nothing back at home. His economy is crippled, the timing did not work, and there is no third CC. There's no... Ooh, throws down 2 more Raxes. He had a choice to make, by the way. Either get a third CC or Raxes. He throws down 2 more Raxes, going for a second 2-base all-in. And Clem is here to punish. He's here to punish. And so without the Immortal, Bunker goes down. Ooh, Stalker's getting low though. Yeah, Stalker's very low, and Clem does overextend. Some heavy losses there for Clem. 2 Marines, they slip into the mineral line. Denying mining, 2 more probe kills, 3 more probes even. Nice little pickoffs here and there for Cure. And he throws out more Raxes. Oh my god, I thought it was just going to be a 2-base at 5 Rax all in. But no, he's going up to 6. I say 6, getting up to 8. So 2-base, 8 Rax all in. Let's go, baby, let's go. Getting up to 8 Raxes. These final Raxes shouldn't have any add-ons on them. Just making as many Marines as possible. And again, the hope is that Clem is too greedy. How would he be? Well, if Clem were to throw down a forge, a bay, start working towards extend thermal lands, colossal production, charge, sorry, +1. If he started investing into all these upgrades, all this tech, and not into his army, that's when the all-in could work. And here comes the second wave, the second all-in, the boys are pulled. And he sees. And Clem he sees, and Clem he didn't take up. He did not take up, no forge, no bay, no extend thermal lands. Just extra batteries, and charge. So Clem should be fine. Clem should be fine. Again, Cure was gambling a little bit here. The gamba. As he once again tries to lure the army out. Taking some slightly better fights. Way catching a couple of Zealots, but he's bringing out too many SCVs. So many SCVs going to be falling. And now it's just a bio. It's just a Marine Marauder. He's overstimmed. The boys are being pulled. Yeah, diving in the army, blinks on forward, and Clem will clean this up. Zealots are reinforced just in time. Clem does lose a mineral line, but he's still miles ahead. And still has a massive lead. And with that, Clem, who looked to take a lead in the series, she looked to gain momentum. Nice target firing. Does focus on the Marauders. There's 3 Marauders left. Down to 2. Down to 1. Down to 0. 0 Marauders. The blink control. Pulls away the weakened Stalkers. Chasing the main army. And again, Curie's down to 26 SCVs. He doesn't really have much left over. He went for the 8 racks. The 8 racks failed. The 8 racks failed. And Clem is here to end it. Here to end it. He's running out of units, but GG gets called. He breaks into the natural, and Clem will take game number 1. GG. Whew. And GG, well played. Clem will take lead in the series. Again, winding it back. Cure, he went for a hyper-aggressive build, going for a 3-rack stim timing, and also pulled the boys alongside it. But Clem was able to engage ahead of time. He was able to engage in the center of the map, slow it down. His force fields were immaculate when it came to walling off that ramp and delaying the push, buying more time, pushing back the Marines, pushing back the bio, only engaging with the SCVs, just cutting the army in half time and time again. And GG. GG, well played. With that, Clem does overwhelm. And now we're getting into game 2. We'll see how our players will approach this. We'll see what map we load into as well. I feel like a lot of this will come down to the map itself. 10,000 feet favors aggression, favors all-ins. That is one of the reasons why Cure did commit. This time, though, where are we dropping? Ooh, loading into Ruby Rock. Another map that does favor aggression as well. Let's go. Let us go. So we're loading into game 2. And once again, when it came to the second all-in that Cure went for, the hope was that Clem was being greedy, right? The hope was that Clem was getting a forge and teching and expanding and hopefully spending resources elsewhere, not just on the army. It was a bit of it was the only gamba that Cure really had in that kind of game state, that position. There we go. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the French Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Liquid as well. It is Cure. Here we go. As the players are opening up. And we'll see what Cure goes for this time. Remember last game it was a 3-rack stim timing or 3-rack stim all in. So he did pull the boys. This time double gas. Okay, double gas opener, faster factory. So already a very different build. We're not going for any early sim timing. Faster factory. This can lead into early tank push. It can lead into a commitment into cyclones. It can lead into reactor reaper Hellion, Banshee play as well. Show us what you got. Regardless, it's more tech heavy. Nowhere near as bio intensive. Nowhere near. Meanwhile, from the side of Clem, we're expecting more of the same. Last game, Clem did go 2-gate blink into a third, which was very greedy. And if he can survive a 3x2 base all in by going for a greedy build, then we should see it again. To be fair, we should see it again. So far, no probe scout by Clem. This is quite greedy, very greedy. Because no probe scout, he's checking for proxies, as he doesn't know if anything's missing. So Clem is cutting corners. Don't know if it's wise to do so, but he's going for it. From here, Cure, he will delay some mining at the natural. Battery is now done. And Clem should deflect. Ooh, we'll lose a probe. Okay, one probe goes down. Nice little pick off there from Cure. And behind this, Cure is getting to zone 111. We were curious as to what the purpose of the initial gases were going to be. So far, 111, mine drop into early cyclone, I'm assuming. Or do we go for the tank? Ah, wouldn't mind. Does go for a more committed mine drop build. Hallucination does scout, does confirm. Clem now sees the later expansion. But I don't believe he's seen the Widow Mines. Oh, and we're rushing into the early tank. Okay, so the way this works here, this should be a Viking follow-up. It's going to be initially the mine drop across the map into a tank push, like directly after. Here comes the drop. The drop is designed to distract. Distract Clem, keep him busy. How many gateways? 2. Yeah, 2-gate blink into the third. Sorry, 3-gate blink. Yeah, third gateway is being thrown down, so Clem is being somewhat safe. This is all before the robo though. No robo. So Clem is cutting corners. Curie does threaten the drop. And we're still building up from here. So my apologies, I assumed that we were going to go for the early tank and continue tank production, but as you saw here, he makes the early tank and then he goes for the add-on swap. So add-on swap thereafter, checking his vision, he saw the fast third, so he knows it was a low gateway count. So Cure knows he doesn't need a high tank count to defend. So just skipping out on tanks. Going for that bio transition. Drop into the main. Clem should react. Oh! Does pull away. Matter of fact falls. Nice clean up here by Clem. He defends well. He defends well. Players are building up. So far, 2 probe kills. The Raven does barely get away. Raven pulls away. Raven will harass. Cure still building up his bio. Hallucination does confirm that, of course, the reactors on the factory does get eyes on the upgrades. Ooh, as 5 probes go down, that should not have happened. And mine showing off, 5 probe kills, not bad. And we're waiting for the push. We're waiting for the move out. I'm also curious to see if Cure pulls the boys with this. Just because of what we saw in game 1 and also Ruby Rock as well. Curious to see how hard Cure commits with the sim timing. Now going for the double drop. Let's move out. Rallying into the main. Clem, he does spot the main push. Does spot the army. And we start a 3rd CC. Okay, does not pull the voice. I was looking at Cure's camera. I was looking at his camera, but no, he starts his 3rd CC. Double drop into the main. Clem is out of position. Clem is distracted. Ooh, gonna go for the pylons. Depowers the main. Depowers the main base. Clem, he's racing back over to his main as well. Colossus to defend his 3rd. Jesus, as everything's getting depowered. No more gateways. Tanks unsieged. But Clem cannot break through. Yeah, Clem does not have enough. Woodmine's up burring. Curious pushing in. And can he get on top of the expansion? He can. And can he kill the Nexus? Oh my god. Yeah, Zelts are falling. Colossus is exposed. There's the recall. Then it looks like he will barely recall in time. Yeah, it does recall. Despite that, there's not enough here. Yeah, there's not enough here. We're up to 2 Colossus. Once again, though, they're exposed. Very, very shaky defense here from Clem. Very shaky. And they cannot break through. Yeah, cannot push through. Cannot get on top of the tank. Boys being pulled. Desperation out of Clem. And we just reinforce. GG gets called. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. Cure ties up the series 1-1. We are tied up. With that, GG well played. Again, winding it back here, Cure, he was hyper aggressive. He was able to pull Clem apart. For the most part, Clem was able to keep up, but when it came to the early game aggression, did lose 5 probes to the Woodermine drop and to the auto touch harass as well. That was brutal, to be fair. But we saw that Clem, he was woefully out of position. He did not spot the double drop. His main focus was on the main army. If you remember, he was spotted by the Observer. The Observer did spot the main army, so that had all of Clem's attention. He had nothing in the main base. He did not spot that double drop, and he was just torn apart. And in one fell swoop, GG. GG well played. Cure ties us up, and we're going to the ace match. Let's go. Yeah, going to the ace match. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the French Terran player, sorry, the French Protoss player. We have the French Protoss representing Team Liquid, being forced into a tied series. Can he bring it back? It is Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Hello. As Clem, he does keep the probe back, going for the proxy. What I was about to say is that welcome to Title Citadel, a larger map in the map pool, a map where we often do see longer games on. But no, Clem finally on a bit of a more macro map, he does go for the proxy himself, setting up his gateways. Clem is setting up. I assumed it was going to be a 2-gate, but no, it's going to be 1. Okay, so only the single gateway. This is not an all-in. It's not an all-in, but it is a way to get a lead early on, to go for the first Zealot, in towards Cybercore units, into harass, into denying the natural. The goal here, of course, is to deny that natural base. Single gas opener out of Cure. So Cure is going for the CC, and ideally for Clem, he wants that CC on the low ground. As Clem does take some extra hits, forces down one of the SCVs. Cure will expand. And here comes us for that first Zealot. It's being chroned as we speak. And again, as we mentioned, the goal here is to delay the command center. So delay. Zealot first, into the Cybercore. Then we can reinforce with Stalker and Adept once Cybercore is done. For now, double Zealot. Let's go. Clem does make his way in. Ooh, does he immediately force a cancel? And Clem, he gets what he wanted. He gets what he wanted. Bunker on the way as well. Aye. Massive reaction here. Big supply block as well. Oh, God. Curious supply blocked. Marine trying to move in. Stalker's on the way. Behind this, Clem is just expanding, by the way. Just chilling. Just expanding. And the early game has worked beautifully here for Clem. Clem has a lead. Now I can pick away the SCVs. Speaking of, toss on the workers. Mass repair. Again, just containing Cure. Forcing less mining. Forcing repairs. And from here, Clem, we can just chill. You can just chill, going for his own Twilight counter blink. I would probably advise safe play here by Clem, going up to 3 gateways. And there we go. We have 2 gates on the way. We have at least initially 3 gateways out of Clem. The temptation is there to be greedy and to get another expansion, but there's a very high chance that you're just forcing an all-in out of Cure, right? That Cure, he is behind in the early game. He's had a very rough start. So we're going to calm down. Lock on the Stalker. Despite that, the Cyclone does get away. Oh my god. The Cyclone pulls back. Clem may have lost a Stalker, but once again he has control of the low ground. He has control. Still no mining. Cure will eventually break out. Oh, the force field! Oh my god! He catches the SCVs. Oh, it looks like there was a bit of latency. But there we go. 4, 5, 6 SCVs going to be going down. Aye. 5 SCV kills. Not like this. Not like this. Startail Bomber Fan is one of the SC admins, the SC boy admins. Much love. As there we go, 7 SCVs. Still no mining at the natural, by the way. Clem's about to take a 3rd. He's about to take a 3rd base, Pappy. We're still reinforcing. Cure just kind of expand. Again, it was a borderline build order win from the start of the game. For Cure to fail to scouts, going for the more economic build. Going for the tech heavy follow-up. It all just fell apart. Oh, do you have a Banshee across the map? I believe there is an observer. Yes. Observer just popped. Despite that, 1, 2, 3 probe kills. We need a defensive warp in. Getting up to 4, getting up to maybe even 5. Goes into the main. While Clem is distracted, he blinks in, takes out the Cyclone. And Clem still punishes. Tanks they do siege. And Curie is secure. Curie does hold on. The Banshees they get out. Now there are 2 Banshees. 2 Banshees they can one-shot probes. And Curie's hoping that this forces Clem back home. Oof. As the cloak is that the Banshee's out of energy. No cloak. And Banshee goes down. Takes on maybe one more probe. Cure does pull away. Yeah, Cure pulls away. Finally breaks out. He has his own defensive Banshee. But Clem is miles ahead. Clem, he has 50 probes. I mean, did just lose a decent chunk. He just lost 7 workers. So Clem should be further ahead. Oh, he blinks in? Oh, God. The bait. The bait, pappy. Yeah, Clem, we got to lock in. We got to calm down. We got to lock in. Clem slipping up. Yeah, he slips up. Clem is somewhat vulnerable. Cure does have the larger army. Cure's coming. The boys are here as well. Has Clem been too greedy? Clem, he only has 2 gateways powered. And Clem is warping in. He abandons a 3rd base. Ay, ay, ay. Cure is making this work. Again, Clem should have enough to deal with this, but he was greedy here. In regards to delaying his gateways, in regards to saturating his own base. Getting caught in the center. Clem still has a lead. And he's waiting to surround. Charge this time is now done. Was finishing over in 8 seconds. Oof, massive tank shots. Yeah, tank shots going off. Zealots they just melt. Stalkers are trying to dive on the tanks. And does get them. Yeah, we'll get one. We'll get both tanks just barely. Trades with the bio army. Oof. Again, not the cleanest hold, but Clem is holding. He's holding on. Oh no! Bans out his stalkers. We'll lose 1. Whatever Clem does hold. Behind this, his 3rd is getting fully operational. Again, he should have never lost his 3rd base to begin with, but he's clawing his way back into this. We have a game. We have a game. And we're waiting for Stim. Waiting for the upgrade. Stim, combat shields +1. Once it will kick in, then Cure can start to push. He's got his 3rd CC further back in his main. The Observer fails to scout the 3rd, so Clem doesn't really know if this is going to be an all-in or not. Regardless, when it comes to the push, Clem will have Storm. Oof. Storm will be complete, and alas, Cure will not have any EMPs. So, here come the storms. Ooh. Nice splits. Very nice spread. Very nice spread. Cure spreads against the storms. Minimizes damage. one storm is not going to be good enough here. Yeah, it goes to the storm drop, but won't kill anything. Oh. Cure once again breaking out. Storm does own. That was the final storm. And Clem gets punished. It's getting punished. Curie's been fighting his heart out. Jumping to the main base. Curie's keeping up. At least trying to. Oof. Bleeding out Marines. Does bleed out Marines. Curie rotates to the south side at the same time. Clem, he does find those tanks exposed. Doesn't go for it. Doesn't go for it. I just keep swarping in anyway. It's fine. Swarps in. Catching out more SCVs. Clem, he can go for the dive. And he commits. Yeah, Clem, he takes out both tanks. 1, 2 tanks going down. Nice focus firing on the High Templar. So there are no storms. Clem was a little bit careless here. Did lose the High Templar, but that's still going to be 2 dead tanks and 10 SCVs. It's still proving to be too much. Clem is still more or less comfortable. And we're waiting for the Colossus. There's no bait. Oh, sorry. I was like, there's no bait. There is. Colossus now on the way. He's getting there. Nice focus firing. Oof. Yeah, Storm finally does connect. He's running back the army. Oh, God. And I believe there's 1 Storm remaining. Speaking of, oof, oh my god, Tails land the storm. Clem is trading well. Still lacking Zealot reinforcements. Still lacking a Warpism. But these trades are still fine. I guess they're still good, still solid. Rotating back in. Better angle attack. He lands on the High Templar. Without Storm, without splash damage, it's still a risky fight to take here for Clem. The EMPs are landing on the Archons. Colossus has arrived. The Archons are getting picked up. Yeah, once again, a messy fight here. Archons go down, Immortals go down. Clem has to get the hell out of here. Does overextend. Please add another Immortal. Leading another. Expensive losses. Clem, he can still afford this though. It's important to bear that in mind. Clem, he has he has so many bases, such a great economy. If he loses too much too quickly, then everything can just quickly snowball out of control in favor of Cure. But if the losses are more staggered, then that still favors Clem. Still favors. Once again, there's still no prison with the main army. Storms, they somewhat connect, but there's no pushing power here for Clem. It's building up to 4 Colossus. Oh, never mind. He's got 4 Colossus up against 3 Vikings. There's barely any Vikings. The lasers are coming in, and now Clem can push. It's a critical mass of Colossus. Boys are being pulled into the lasers. 1 Colossus goes down. There's still 3 left. There's still 3 left. GG gets called. Clem overwhelms, and Clem, who'll claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Clem, who will claim the series. He will advance on. Again, winding it back here. It was a bit of a closer back and forth, but the early game was brutal. Again, Cure, he was playing from behind. He lost his base. He was forced to cancel his add-ons. He was supply blocked as well. Everything just went so south there for Cure early on. He was playing from behind from the very beginning of the game. Despite that, he was able to catch Clem being too greedy, overly greedy. He was able to catch the Stalkers in the center, push across the map, and break that third expansion. That should not have happened. So this made for a shakier game than what otherwise should have been there. So it was a little bit more shaky. For the most part, Clem was still secure. He was still ahead. He still had the lead, but the lead wasn't as large as it otherwise should have been, and that made for a bit of a more intense dynamic. But GG. GG, well played. Regardless, Clem does claim the series, and with that, Clem does advance on to the grand finals. He is waiting for the winner of our next semifinals matchup. It's going to be a PvZ between herO and Rogue. Let's go. And let's go. A bit of a rare sight. We don't often get to experience many Zerg players here, like Solar, Shin, Rogue. They're not the most consistent players, making it all the way to said finals, or even to the semifinals. So we get to experience at least a little bit here between herO and Rogue. I'm ready for it. Let's go. Jumping back into Title Citadel. Here we go. Bearing in mind, herO did defeat Rogue during the GSL qualifiers last week. Did defeat him in the qualifiers. I believe both in round 1 and in round 2. But we'll see how Rogue can handle himself here in the KungFu Cup. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg player himself. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Here we go. We are going to be opening up. And we get, well, it's rare. It's like, when was the last time I casted a Zerg player? True, true. Maybe during the 2v2s? On over the weekend. Over the weekend we casted some Zerg during StarCraft Evolution. True, true. We had a little bit of Zerg. But regardless, we have our PvZ here. Here he can be a very diverse, very intense player, going for standard openers, going for earlier Twilight Councils as well. This is a bit of a larger map, so we should be seeing a standard build here from herO, but we'll see if that stands true, if that holds true. Likewise, Rogue typically thrives in the mid game. It's usually mid-game aggression where Rogue is thriving. There are some moments where Rogue is more willing to be a little bit more defensive, more economic, more greedy, rushing into fast hive and rushing into fast lurkers. We'll see what Rogue goes for this time. For now, Hatch Gas Pool. Hatch Gas Pool, standard open out of Rogue. herO likewise gate expand into Cybercore. We go. So here we are opening up. Really, we're going to be looking for any kind of big tech deviations. So from the side of Rogue, we're looking for either early Evo Chamber, early Roach Horn, or early Lair. Whether we go for a Lair opener, a Lair first, Roaches, or Evo Chamber. That'll give us an idea as to how Rogue wants to approach the mid game. Meanwhile, we have our tech of choice, Stargate opener out of herO. Opening up Stargates into Oracle into a third base. Everything looking standard from herO. What we're looking for from herO's side of things in terms of tech is the timing of the Twilight Council. Whether he goes to the Twilight Council as the third is finishing or as it's being thrown down. Likewise, when we see it, do we see it alongside a Forge or not? That's typically what we're looking for. Probe is hunted down. Third base now being taken. Bit of a later third here from Rogue, as he did prioritize his next queen. So faster third queen, later third expansion. Oh, okay, that I was not expecting. We were leaning towards an Oracle, maybe a Void Ray opener, but no, we're going for a Phoenix instead. With the Phoenix opener, herO, he will be hunting down Overlords. He'll hunt down the Overlords, he can hide his tech. Behind this, he could go for a second Stargate, he can go for a Fleet Beacon, he can go for an early Twilight Council. He's actually making even more Phoenixes, actually. Okay. Este herO. Never a dull moment. True. Never a dull moment with herO. As Overlord's being hunted down. And we'll see what he hides behind this. Again, the big benefit here of opening a Phoenix is lack of vision, lack of scouting from the Zerg player. As Rogue even gets supply blocked. We have a third Phoenix on the way. Going to be stopping at 3. 3 Phoenixes into the third. And then we're going to charge. Do we going to... Actually, he's making a 4th Phoenix. Wait, what? Okay. Okay. Building up into 4. Early Twilight Council. I mean, in comparison to the third base. Are we going Phoenix into charge? That would make the most sense in my mind. Going for an early charge opener. Ideally, okay, so when it comes to the grand scheme of things here, the goal of the mass Phoenixes would be to force out Hydras, I would imagine. To force a Hydra response, a Hydra reaction. There's no forge, no +1. In my mind, it would make sense to go into charge, but we'll see. These Phoenixes do catch out another Overlord. Yep, there it is, charged on the way. As we just mentioned, herO, he wants to try to force Hydras. He wants to force link Hydra. And then wants to punish. Catching on more Overlords. Oof. That's what, 4? Yeah, 4 Overlords going down. Catching on some of the drones as well. 2 drones falling. herO pulls away. And behind this, no gases. You can see here, no gases at the natural base. Forge now all the way for +1. Zealots are amassing. And do you see what I see? Early Eva Chamber, +1 melee. It's going to be Ling Hydra. Ooh, so basically, Rogue, he's skipping his Roach Horn. We're skipping Roaches. He's also skipping his Baneliness as well. Rogue is vulnerable to mass charge. They poke in. They only see adepts for the time being. Okay, safety Baneliness. Very nice. Rogue is playing it safe. Oh, the Overlords. But thankfully, the Baneliness does allow Rogue to defend. Because here come the mass charge lots. Oh, but the nest is only halfway done. Not even halfway done. It's going to be too late. The army's coming. Charge is done. Charge is complete. It's going to be close. The Queen kind of still quite healthy. Lings, they attempt to surround. And we go for the dive. Yeah, we're diving on the Queens. All 3 Queens get lifted. No transfuse. 1 Queen goes down. And he gets 1 so far. Lings, they attempt to surround. It's still quite close. And it looks like Rogue will hold. Whew. And Rogue, he is holding on. I mean, herO still had a very efficient trade. But what is concerning is that herO doesn't really have much tech moving forward from here. Like, this was nice damage, but was it good enough? herO, he need more drones. Oh, losing a Phoenix. We'll finally lose 1. Here comes a mass link counterattack. Back at home, herO should be fine. And hero's taking up into Storm. Okay. Working towards Storm. As herO does barely get another Queen. No transfuse. Wow, yeah, no transfuse. Another Queen falls. Now, I was assuming that Rogue would just try to drone. Would drone up from here, get up to proper saturation into Lingbane Hydra. Did drone up to 78, true. Does drone up quite nicely here, and here comes the aggression. Banelings are morphing in, Lings are amassing, Hydras are going to be on the way. And without Storm, it's going to be a tough hold for herO. Archons will help. But herO needs splash damage. As herO moves out. I do favor Rogue. Basically, the earlier charge timing from herO had to kill, and he failed to do so. Oh, the Lings! The Lings, they flood into the main. The wall is not a wall. Lings, that's a bit of the natural as well. herO turns around. F2. Yeah, he F2s back home. Turns everything back around to defend. Panic at a herO. He's panicking. Oof. Nice lift. And nice lift. We have more Banelings morphing in the main. And here he has no idea. Here he does not know. And does he react in time? Oh, he does! He goes to the warp in, he splits. Despite that, ooh, a 10 probes still go down. Nice damage by Rogue. Here he is hurting, he's all in. Here is all in. Where are the Hydras? 6. Only 6 Hydras, but there are 9 Banelings morphing in. Banelings are morphing across the map. They're morphing across the map, actually. Back at home, okay, there are some defensive Banelings. Banelings roll in, they crash into the Zealots, and Rogue holds. Yeah, Rogue is holding on. Surrounds the Archon. There's 2 Archons left. The Archons do break through, though. Uh-oh. It's close. Casito. Yeah, the Archons break through. Not enough Zealots. Here he needs more Warpins, but he has no economy. He has no economy, Pat. He lost too much. Like, even one extra Warpin of Zealots might have been enough to break through. And Rogue is running away with this. He's running away with this. He still has 82 workers, more or less an untouched economy. How many drones has Rogue lost this game? 4. 4 drone kills against 23 probes. That's how dire the economy is for herO. And again, the initial build was fine. Of course, we needed more damage dealt by the Zealots, though. It all made sense going Phoenix into charge, but failed to kill. Failed to do critical damage. And then it's been all uphill from there for herO. Banelings rolling in. Ooh, they do miss some shots though. They miss some connections. Lings they do flood into the main. Forcing defensive warpins. And Rogue should just know. I mean, he's just snowballing from here, right? Like, Rogue, he's about to max out. He's up 80 supply. And soon he can just A move. Even into the Archons. He can just A move that. As here is massing up his Archons. Now, this is a little bit scary. herO will have +3. +3 is finishing up, and he will have a massive amount of Archons. If Rogue was taking up into Lurkers, I would say that Rogue he should easily defend. Even here, he should be fine, but herO does have a fighting chance. Spoke too soon. herO bleeds on Archon. Expensive losses for herO. Again, it's all or nothing. The goal for herO, the hope here, is that he's at least able to tank the Banelings with his Archons and then overwhelm. Let's go 1 shot. 1 shot, 1 push. +3 will be finishing. We'll have +3. Again, it's still just purely Ling Bane Hydra for Rogue. He will be able to reinforce with more Lings. He has 2,000 minerals in the bank. herO going for a split push. Takes on the gold. That's a kill, not a cancel. It's a kill. Lings they flood into the main once again. The walls are god damn it, herO. Lings they flood into the main, into the natural. And this might not kill much, but it does force herO back home. It forces herO all the way back home, delays the push, delays the all-in. I'm going to say that herO, he wanted to wait to max out anyway. And he has. He's maxed out. Here it is. Here comes herO. What do we have? We have 10 Archons. 10 Archons, 5 Immortals, 30 Zealots. Lurker Den is too late. This Lurker Den is so very late. There was no reason to get it this late, this later in the game. Without Lurkers, herO has a chance. Sell it one right to the south side. There are Banelings ready. hero's pushing in. Plenty of Banelings. Speaking of, oh no! Oh Jesus! Okay, hero does split. Does split out his army. Hero's getting ground. As he trades very efficiently here. Yeah, Lings, they cannot trade well. Not against Mass Zealots. Banelings, they do help out. Massive connections. herO defends. herO's holding on. And we have 60 Lings on the way. Now we have Skytook. No shot. No shot that hero survives until Sky Toss. No shot. Hero is getting up to 4 bases, that is true. But there should be a massive window in time here where herO has Lurker attack and hero doesn't have Sky Toss. The mass Lurker should be enough. It is 8 Lurkers on the way. Hero, you're crazy, pappy. Thinking we can defend until Sky Toss. No shot. And I say Sky Toss, just getting the Mothership for now. Mothership is on the way to help support. Lurkers have arrived. They reveal themselves. And again, here he has no good answer to Lurkers. He has no answer. What can he do? Now, if the Lurkers are split, and if they're spread out, then hero can try to engage with Mass Immortal. But only if the Lurker count is low enough. Meanwhile, we have 7 more Lurkers morphing in. Could be 15 in total. 15. Down to 14. Down to 13. Down to 12. Oh my god. Down to 11. Okay, 12. 12 Lurkers. Prism into the main. Warp in is denied. Denies the warp in. Here he rotates. And 12 Lurkers left. herO going for a massive Link counterattack. And hero, there's just too many Banelings here. He cannot break through. The Link Rabbi once again. The wall's perpetually open. Lings they flood into the third as well, into all the bases. Still around by top right. Probes are going down. This is critical damage. Critical damage at this point. Hero, he's completely all in. He recalls. Oh, recall. Okay, recall's upside. I was like looking for a base recall. Recall's upside. Takes out an expansion. But again, Hero, he's losing everything. Hero, he'll lose everything across the map. His bases are falling. Killing one expansion is not good enough. Hero, he needs more than this. And he's pushing into 12, so to be 19 Lurkers. Oh god. No detection. Okay. Massive cloak. Overseer's not coming in. Hero trying to push through. 12 Lurkers left. Banelings are rolling in and they will connect. Even inefficiently here, they shut down the Archons. So many Archons go down. And Hero cannot break through. Cannot break through. Does kill 34 drones. I mean, Zealots, they put. Oh my god, they got a mineral line. They got a base. They got an expansion. Hero. Okay. I mean, Hero is down to 13 probes. As we mentioned, the Ling Runby earlier did cripple Hero completely. If Hero was able to defend a little bit better against that Ling Runby, then maybe Hero would have a chance here. But Hero is down to 16 probes. The Mass Hydra catching out Hero Zealots. These Hydras are out of position. True. But the Lurkers, they defend themselves. There's just too many. Going for the recall. Okay. Does go for the recall. Diving on the Hydras. Lurkers out of position. Slow zone on the ramp. Very nice. But there's no storm, right? There's no High Templar. There's no storm. Lurkers, they do burrow. Mothership goes down. And again, this is the best fight that Hero could have hoped for. The best chance he would have had. But it's still not good enough. The Lunkers, the Lunkers, they pop off. And herO calls. GG gets called. herO, he does take game number 1. GG. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. herO, he died like 10 minutes ago, by the way. Like, it was like herO, he was dead in the water after the failed charge all in. But herO, he hung in there. He hung in there for like 10 minutes. It was crazy. It was impressive. It was impressive. GG, well played. herO, he did hang in there. He was able to muster up an army. At no point was I really ever fearful of Rogue outside of the big period in time where Rogue, he was delaying his lurker tech. That was concerning. He was delaying his lurkers for quite some time, but despite that, he still had plenty of banelings, plenty of link bane, and it all came down to that big run by as well, ensuring that herO could not stabilize or could not recover, as he lost 3 mineral lines worth of workers. GG, well played. And with that, we're getting game number 2. Going to be loading into the Old Republic. Let's go. Let us go. But again, that was just a really unorthodox build out of herO. I should wind it back and really cement that fact that herO went for a quadruple Phoenix opener into mass charge into a 3-base all-in. That is not standard, right? Like no one does this. The build that herO went for last game is very unusual, very unorthodox, very rare, very unique. It did fall on its face, and we'll see if herO has something else up his sleeve here, if he does play standard. We'll see. Or at least more standard. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg leading the series 1-0. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss representing T1. It is herO. We go. Here we go, as we are going to be opening up. So far, so good. But otherwise, okay, sorry. Sorry, just looking. We're looking, and so far, Hatchcast pool, standard opener out of Rogue. Likewise, we do have our standard opener out of herO going for the gate expand into Cybercore. We're expecting a Stargate open out of herO, but again, last game he did something crazy. He went, again, Mass Phoenix into a charged 3-base all-in. A very unorthodox, a very unusual build. Does he do something crazy again, or does he go for something more standard? And even something more aggressive that's still more standard, like, you know, Stargate open into early Glaive Adepts, to early Twilight Council, into like a +1 charge timing later on. We'll see. Eyes are on herO. He was crazy, man. He was crazy. For now, Stargate. We have our initial Stargates. We're expecting Oracle, but we have to wait to confirm after that last game. Do you have to wait? From here, we are going to be opening up. If we're opening up, it is going to be Oracle first. Oracle opener here by herO into a third base. We were mentioning earlier that game 1 was very weird, very quirky, very unusual. Here in game 2, standard opener. Standard opener out of herO. Going Stargates into Oracle, into his third. And this is where herO should be looking a lot more comfortable. A lot more comfortable. A lot more in control. Adepts shade into the main. Oracle does throw the natural. So far, just keeping Rogue on his toes. Rogue does intercept though. Ooh. A lot of hull damage. A lot of hull damage missed movement there by herO. And Rogue so far is keeping up. It's keeping up. Defending well. Rogue is holding his own. As herO does least force a cancel, does deny the fourth, will delay. At least some damage is being dealt here, but for the most part, Rogue is keeping up. It's keeping up. From here, the third is almost done, which means we have a Forge and Twilight Council standard timing out of herO. Looking like +1 and Blink into the mid game. So again, this is as standard gets, to be honest. It's they get more standard than this. herO threatens the dive. Wings are keeping up. From here, it's going to be up to the splash damage of choice. Should be Storm as the follow-up, but we'll keep it on herO. See if he goes into Colossus. Both are viable. Either Colossi or Storm. Oh, charge, not Blink. Okay. Going for a charge follow-up into Archons and Storm. This is going to be much more aggressive, much more assertive. Once again, here he's hoping for a Ling Hydra. And he built up to 4 Oracles. Okay. With quadruple Oracle, you can force a cancel. You can try. Queens are waddling in. Hatchery's getting low. There is not enough energy for a transfuse, which means that's a kill. Yeah, that's going to be a kill on the hatchery. Aye, aye, aye. Yeah, it's a kill, not a cancel. Brutal loss there for Rogue. Brutal loss. And I don't see a Roach Warren or a Bailey Nest. Not yet. So it does look like Ling Hydra. Wait, there's no Eva Chamber. There's no chamber. Are we going for a Spire? What's the plan here? Where are we taking? Oh, as the Oracles, they catch the mineral line. 7 drones. Oh my god. 9, 10, 11. 11 drones go down. Catching Rogue completely with his pants down. That should not have happened. 11 drone kills. Critical damage. Rogue now has to re-drone, resaturate. And where is the tech? What's all this gas for? Hydrogen. Going for the Hydrogen, but again, no Eva Chamber, no upgrades. They're going to be vanilla Hydras, vanilla Lings on 0-0 for a long time. Based on the lack of upgrades here, and based on the fact that we're still joining up the 4th base, I'm curious to see if Rogue plans on going for the Infestation Pit, and if he plans on spending his gas elsewhere on a hive. We'll see. We'll see when and where he stops, or if he just commits here and now. Because lack of upgrades tells us that he has no plan moving forward. Like, there's no longevity to this army. So either he plans on abandoning the army and taking up, or to just go for one big all-in. Yeah, he's going for it. And here is pushing first. Catching out some of the Lings, catching out some of the Hydras. Remember, Rogue, he's massing up Hydras behind this. Rogue is not droning. And he's catching herO out. He is catching him out. So Archon goes down here. He has to get the hell out of here. Still trying to engage against the Queens. Queens are going down. But that's still a lot of Hydras. And we need more Zealots. He needs more charge lots. Oof. Yeah, Zealots are going down. More Zealots are reinforcing. Here he does not back off. And as I mentioned, Rogue is all in. Rogue is all in. He has no intention of taking up. He never did. But these are rough trades to Rogue. It's being delayed, forced to fight ahead of time. Rogue, he might catch an Archon. Nah, he will not. Archons they get away. Storm is in production, and the longer this goes on, the better it is for herO. Remember, Rogue, he just lost 11 plus drones. He has not been redroning. He's still at 68 workers, 3 base saturation. So very low drone counts. No Eva chambers, no upgrades, no infestation bit, no tech, no hive. Just purely Link Queen. Pure Link Queen. And the goal should have been to break the 4th base, but now there's going to be Storm to contend with. Like, I don't see Rogue pulling this off unless he can catch the High Templar. If he can somehow catch out the High Templar and ensure that Storms are not a part of the main fight, then Rogue still has a chance. Oof. Roundbite gets caught. Lings are cleaned up. And Rogue is just being outscaled. We have +3. It's going to be +3 versus +0. It's going to be 0-0 Ling Hydra. And again, this is by design. Remember, Rogue was all in. That's why there are no upgrades. It is intentional. What isn't intentional is the game lasting until 10 minutes. Like, the game was not meant to last this long. Not from Rogue's perspective. A little bit premature. You're pushing in. High Templar exposed. Uh-oh. Yeah, Templar exposed. They do barely get away. Once again, storming here on the Hydra and low ground. Storm with the ramp as well. And that was the final storm. Yeah, that was the final storm. Hydras, they stand in the storms though. A lot of them do go down. Here he does trade well. And I believe he will have some. He has plenty of defensive storms. Plenty. +1 now begins for Rogue as he's been forced into a longer game. So forced into +1. Once again, here should not be here. He's getting caught out. Oh no! Yeah, he's getting caught out here. Templar exposed. Being forced to storm. Hero slipping up. Again, here he does not have to push. He doesn't have to move out like this. Just calm down, Bappy. Calm down. Zells, they do trade well. They're getting on top of Hydras. Yeah, Lings are cleaned up. 2 Hydras go down. Behind this, Skytoss is amassing. Again, Hero's getting further ahead. And as I mentioned before, Hero does not need to push. We don't need to push. Just warp in defensively. Build up the army. And defend. Survive. That's all we got to do. I mean, these little Romites, they're okay. They're trading well. Into the Lings. Doesn't quite get a Hydra. Oh, yeah, not quite. Alright, going for the Doom Drop. Once again, desperation here out of Rogue. There is a chance that he can maybe catch Hero out of position and knock down the expansion. Hero's main armies here towards the 3rd and 4th base. So I guess towards the 4th and 5th. Not towards the natural. Doom Drop is coming in. Rogue is distracting. And how does Hero react? Yeah, there's that first storm. There's one more storm left. A Doom Drop into the natural. Mass unload. And Hero not paying attention, losing 2 Archons. Hero overextends. Hero slipping up. Natural base is going to go down. Rogue, can he even get out? Wow. Oh no. That's going further in. He's going further in. It is a one-way trip here. The overlords are falling one after the other. Heavy losses here for Rogue. And he needs more damage. He needs to get more done. Killing the natural is not good enough. GG gets called. GG gets called. Fails to all in. And Hero, he does force game number 3. GG. Whew. GG, well played. As I mentioned, Rogue, he was all in. He had to end the game, and killing a base was not good enough. He needed a more critical damage there. In the end, Rogue did run out of steam, and now we're going all the way to game number 3. Let's go. Going to the ace match. I want to see Tectonic Destabilizers, most badass sounding upgrade. I mean, it does sound sick. The upgrade itself is not amazing, though. Oh. There we go. Here we go. We're going to be loading into Game Number 3, getting into the ace match here. Let's go. Let's go. It's like, yo, Tempest can do more. They can do more damage to spores. Let's go. Crazy, papi, crazy. Ah. But here we go. We're getting to the ace match. We're going to be loading into Ruby Rock. This time a much smaller map. Smaller map in the map pool, shorter rushes by ground. Aggression is more favored here. And we'll see if Rogue goes for an earlier all-in. Remember, here in game number 2, we saw that Rogue, he cut workers at 74. He cut workers at just over 3 base saturation, basically 3.5 base saturation for Rogue, before committing with Ling Hydra. Eventually, I mean, he was intercepted, he was slowed down time and time again. He was forced to engage too soon, too early, and his all-in did fall by the wayside. He missed his timing. This time we'll see if he does try to hit an earlier timing instead. As spawning in the top left hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the blue Zerg player, from South Korea. It is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss. It is herO. Let's go. Let us go. I see Laserist in the chats. Calm down, Bappy. You scared me. I was like, oh, is the stream okay? The stream's fine. Try to refresh if you maybe have some issues. Scared me, Bappy. Here we go. Here we go. So we are going to be opening up. Oh, as Rogue is forced to take the unnatural natural. Now this could mean that Rogue builds up in towards, say, like a German taxi, a Queen Bush. This does mean the creep will be spreading across the map even faster than normal. So this can be used as a bit of a launch pad to get across. I see este Chaderzo in the chat. When will we cast Legends tournaments? We no one's reached out about that, Pat. What do you mean? Ay. I mean, it depends on our schedule. I'm sure you're fully aware, but the CranKy Ducklings, we have a very, very tight schedule, and we do a lot of casting. Likewise, we're also based in Australia, so certain time zone events are not as ideal for us, depending on when they begin and when they are. So, just depends on our schedule. Does depend. I think an example of that actually is I think this week the most recent Ladder Legends tournament actually clashed with Euthermal's 2v2 tournaments, and we were adminning the Euthermal event, so it didn't quite line up. We were adminning Euthermal's tournament. So it just depends on the schedule. We do what we can. For now though, we're going to be opening up. We do have our tech of choice, a Stargate opener out of herO. herO going for the double layered pylon here. It does go for the delay, and we'll see if we can get it here in time. Adepts are coming. Their goal here to delay the third. So far so good. Rogue stuck on 2 bases. Yeah, stuck on 2. Pylon finishes. Rogue, he just wants to expand. Is denied. At the same time, Link to do step into the main, into the natural. They slip in, they look to delay. Getting 1 probe kill. Nice damage. It's something. Still not quite enough here, though, to make up for the lost expansion. Ooh, as we shade into the main. Yeah, he does get in. 3 drones go down. Brutal damage. Still no 3rd expansion. Getting up to 4. Do we get up to 5? 4. 4 drones do go down. Shading back to low ground. Oracle does move in. Spores not quite in position. No spores. Queen's a little bit too far out. That's 7 drone kills. Crazy damage. And again, the 3rd base just now begins. So delayed. So late. Rogue has to go for a desperation counterattack. Back across the map. There's no 3rd expansion. hero's taking. Yeah, hero's taking up. Early Twilight Council, gateways as well. Here he has momentum, and this may just be for Glaives. It's not uncommon here when a Protoss player gets ahead, it takes a lead, they just go for the kill. They go for the kill, go for the throat. herO knows that Rogue is hurting, as Rogue is still trying to re-drone, still resaturating. Rough position for Rogue. As we are mining gas, going to Blink. Okay, Blink, not Glaive Adepts. Getting into 4-gate Blink. Forge as well, still no third expansion. hero's just doubling down. And this is going to hit quite hard. Now, of course, Rogue, he's fully aware that there's no third base, so Rogue, he does react and respond with his own Roach Horn. That will help. Building a bit of roaches. He's not going to be over-droning. But it's still going to be a tough hold here for Rogue. Still going to be difficult. As herO still has momentum, still up in workers, up in economy. And still going to be up in tech as well. This blink is almost done. Then it will be go time. Then we can just send it. Rogue, likewise, he hasn't made a drone in quite some time. He did cut workers at 38, and he still has not droned. It's on herO to confirm, as now we have 7 drones in production. Oof. Bit of hull damage on the Oracle. herO, he does get the revelation, does spot a couple of roaches on the way. Don't know if he noticed the drones though. Regardless, he's pushing. Yeah, regardless, he's moving out. There's 5 roaches to defend. Not many. Yeah, not many roaches. Oracles are here to support. Stalkers, they move in. And here come the stasis traps. Oh no! Ooh, brutal connection. Stasis goes off. And here you can just keep rotating. Keep pushing in, keep applying pressure. Catching out tumors. Containing Rogue. As Rogue, he's still yet to comfortably drone up. Still with the low economy. And hero's building up further from here. Immortals are on the way. Extra Oracles are on the way. +1 soon to kick in as well. Bearing in mind we have +0 for Rogue. Rogue just trying to survive back. Trying to survive. Base out the stasis at least. Does catch the stasis trap. And here's just going to back off. Yeah, he's just going to back off. We have the Bay on the way, building up and turtling up into Colossus. I mean, there's nothing pressuring herO. Gets a free queen. Free queen. Again, Rogue is still not droning. Still not fully saturated. Now building up into Hydrotech. Was a Stalker. And it's just a really tough balancing out here. Because the rough early game from Rogue, he has to balance between making an army not to die, but also trying to drone up to have some semblance of a mid-game. Has been rough. As herO rotates, gets into the expansion. From here, does force a recall. Bleeds out 1, 2, 3, 4 Stalkers. We do get a trade at least. But that's still an expansion going down. And hero's far enough ahead where he can afford some of these worse trades. So he does bleed out 4 Stalkers. Does find transferring workers. Oof. Yeah, 5 drones going down. Oh god. Could have been worse. Wings, they attempt to counterattack. Oracle's giving chase. Just diving on the queens. That's another one. 2 queens falling. Even a couple of hydras as well. And also scouts. Now he's aware. Now he's aware the hydras are coming. No mutas. He's aware of the follow-up. And here comes herO. Here comes the main army. Charge is finishing. +2 is finishing as well. herO will have that upgrade advantage. And again, Rogue was just never able to recover. It was just such a rough start for Rogue when it came to losing all those drones, losing his third base. Oh. Speaking of, the 4th does fall once again. Rogue just can't expand. Cannot expand. Yeah, Link counterattack doesn't even get the cannon. Cannon survives. And here he's soon gonna max out. He's soon to max out. The issue here, Rogue technically, I mean, what do we say all the time? The soup lies, right? The soup does lie. Rogue, he does have inflated army supply due to all the roaches. Likewise, Rogue has a worse economy, so he doesn't really have any sustainability either. And due to the worse economy, there's no tech, right? There's no infestation bit, no lurker den, no hive either. So one army is not quite like the other. herO, he is miles ahead here, and he will dominate the main fight. The best chance that Rogue has is to engage with herO a portion at a time. For example, herO, this is half the army. He has half the army being active on the right hand side. If Rogue can collapse and focus on this one army, on this one portion, then he can maybe pick herO apart. Speaking of, you can see Rogue respond with his entire army here, setting up for the surround. herO going for a split push. And Rogue, he will surround. Not bad. Collapsing in the army. And the Biles. Ooh, Biles connect. herO force a recall. Please add a good chunk of army. At the same time, though, here he's gaining ground. But again, recall's now on cooldown. He has to be careful. Here he has to be careful. Will pull away. Rogue, he wants that army. And again, he knows the recall's on cooldown. And here is cornered. Here he is cornered. Couple of swipes up. Ling's going down. Can herO break through? Oh, he barely can with the Stalkers at least, but the Colossus, yeah, the Colossus is a forfeit. Stalkers, they blink away. And again, these are the best fights that Rogue could have hoped for. He caught the army twice on its own, half at a time. Oh, well, go for the stasis trap. The stasis traps, though. Yeah, stasis traps catching the army in half, and now herO, he just snowball out of control. He just push in. Remember, in a main head-on fight, herO is favored, and Rogue is falling apart here. He could fight a portion at a time, but everything together, no shot. No shot. Not like this. Losing the Hydras, the Roaches, the Ravagers. Rogue, he plummets in supply, and this is where the economy comes into play. Rogue cannot rebuild, cannot remax. herO could. herO, the reality is he could afford those losses. Did take some heavy losses, but herO, he had the economy to sustain it. Rogue does not. Rogue does not. As Rogue, he's still under 3 base saturation. Still on 64 workers. herO now pushing out, he rotates. This time with everything. And Rogue knows he cannot defend. He cannot hold on, cannot defend. Knocking down the expansion. Rogue is going for the base trade. It's the only chance he has. Does second guess himself. It turns around. Oof. Yeah, a little bit of indecision there, but Rogue, he turns back around. He's gonna try to make a stand. It's just Roach Hydra. No Ravagers, no Lurkers. We have a couple of Vipers in production. But at the same time here, he's got Tempest on the way. Tempest, Dark Shrine. You could argue that herO could be a little bit more cavalier here. A little bit more cavalier, pushing forward and be more aggressive. hero's just playing it safe. And here he does with his Vipers. He sees. Just gotta respect them. Vipers are gathering energy. herO rotating once again. Rotates over, knocks down another expansion. Rogue, he does throw down the lurker den, so he's been slowly taking up. He's slowly getting there. I'd be more concerned for herO if he didn't have Sky Toss amassing. If he was fixated on a ground army, then that would raise concerns, but we have 5 Stargates on the way. It's a lot of Stargates. It's going to be a lot of Sky Toss. And here's having a trade. Oh, nice abductions. Takes out both Colossus. Catching out the Colossus, the Immortals as well. Very nice abductions. Better pickups here for Rogue. But remember, this army just doesn't scale well. It doesn't scale well into a longer game. We have to get rid of these roaches. More importantly, we need to drone. We need to oh no! We need to drone up. Zealot drop into the main. Can he kill the hive? It's close. Can he get it? Oh my god. One more swipe and he does not. Oh my god, just barely the hive does survive. Clutch transfuse. 15 HP, he wants it. He wants that hive. herO's not gonna get it. Prism goes down. Rogue is moving in. Now, if we can abduct all the Tempest. Ooh, does spend an abduction on the Archon. Takes down 2 Archons. Tempest are revealed. He reveals the Tempest. Mass Cloak, no detection. Hydra deflected. And Rogue has to pull away. Yeah, 0 Overseers with the main army. 7 Overseers morphing in. Rogue, he has no mining, by the way. Oh my god. He's got, what, half a base mining? He's just lost so many expansions. He has no economy. This is all he has. Zealot run as they continue. There's nothing left to run by. He might even just kill the expansion. Yeah, it's low from earlier from the Vipers. Natural goes down before the main. He wants the main as well. And Rogue's going to be knocked down to 1 expansion. One base left. 1 hatchery remaining. No lair, no hive. Storm's coming in. Massive storm. Oh my god, the storm. He just takes it. GG gets called. He showers in the storms. And herO, he'll take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played again. Just a very brutal start there for Rogue, winding it back. Rogue, he bled out a bunch of workers. He had no 3rd expansion. The early adept in Oracle Harass was insane from herO, and Rogue fell behind early on, and he stayed behind. He was never able to recover economically. He never got up to 4 base saturation. He struggled to even get up to 3 base saturation, just playing from behind there. There were a couple of nice moments for Rogue where he was able to catch out portions of the army. There were some nice moments, but only moments, really. Like, we needed more than just that. herO did slip up, but once again, as we try to emphasize, herO could afford to make mistakes. The reality is that he was far enough ahead where he could make mistakes and still take a lead and still get ahead, still maintain himself. GG, well played. Whew. With that, herO, he will advance on to the grand finals, and we have our best of 5 soon to be ready for us. It's going to be a best of 5 here between herO and Clem. But a shout to Rogue for, of course, making it to the semis and for providing some Zerg gameplay, as it's a rarer sight nowadays. Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Do appreciate it. As we are setting up. So just catching up with the chat. Catching up. Here we go. With that, we are going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we will have our best of 5 finals. We'll have herO versus Clem in that best of 5. See you soon after the short break. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the grand finals. Let's grand finales here of the KungFu Cup. KungFu Cup 2026, week number 5. We're here. We are back. Once again, a big shout out to SC Boy for hosting, organizing, and funding the event. Shout out to NetEase as well for also backing SC Boy in their SC2 endeavors. As we have our top 2 players. We have our top 2 players here. Once again, as a reminder, KungFu Cup is a weekly open tournament. They do take 1 week off every 5 weeks, I want to say. So, you know, they're a little bit sporadic at times, but for the most part, they are running on a weekly basis. And also, as a reminder, they are going to be switching to earlier in the week. Starting next week, they're going to be switching to Tuesdays because of GSL. To avoid clashing with GSL, they will be shifting and adjusting their schedule. Bear that in mind. For now, though, we have that finals. We have that best of 5 here. Again, we have herO and Clem. They often go back and forth when it comes to series. In recent months, herO has had the winning record over Clem. That is true. That is the case when it comes to recent months, but they still do trade back and forth, and they still do make for an amazing series. Still the best Protoss and Terran player in the world. Let's go. Let's jump in. Game 1 is going to be on the Old Republic. Let's go. We are jumping on in. And spawning in the top right hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. We are jumping into our fresh best of 5, and we'll see how our players do adjust coming into this. Welcome to the Old Republic. The Old Republic is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Larger map, longer rushes by ground, but does have a more vulnerable and more exposed 3rd and 4th bases. So we have been seeing quite a lot of aggression, quite a lot of assertion when it comes to the earlier base counts. We'll see how Clem will approach this. We're expecting something more aggressive here by Clem to try to stop the kind of scenario where the Protoss player gains map control and mass expands. So eyes are on Clem. For now, single gas opener, going for the racks expand. So far, so good. Likewise, herO can be a very tricky player himself. herO, he's not afraid to go into Stargate openers, going to charge based builds as well, going into Blink Stalkers, going into earlier robos, going into proxies early on. herO can be very dynamic and very diverse, and that's what makes him a difficult player to play against. It's difficult. Well, this will come down to scouting, reactions. A lot of pressure is going to be on Clem. But now, though, speaking of, we do have our initial zealot from herO to rally across the map. Remember, here he just scouted. He confirms the more greedier build. It's a racks expand economic build here by Clem, and herO's goal here is to delay that CC to disrupt the early game. As here comes out early zealots. Zealots racing across the map. We then have the follow-up adept as well to shade across the map to reinforce. Meanwhile, we do see Clem going for a standard follow-up. It is going to be Marine first, into Tech Lab, into Factory, into add-on swap, into early Cyclones. So standard follow-up. But again, here is here to delay. Oh, my apologies. I assumed it was going to be an add-on swap, but no, we're sticking with the Marauder. Okay. Marauder opener and taking Castle Shell. Adept is going to be shading in. Zoning back the SCV. I mean, this feels like a forced reaction from Clem, as he couldn't go for the add-on swap just because he had to prioritize any early game units. So it felt like forced Marauders. Likewise, herO did scout the factory, so he knows there's no 3x behind this. There's no 3x sim timing. And he wants that Marauder. He wants it. Shades in. Does shade in. Zealot does push forward. Second Marauder has arrived, and Clem is holding. Yeah, Clem is holding on. That one Marauder does get low. Adept say shade away. Still a delay on the command center. That's all that matters. As the CC just now completes. Very delayed. Very late. Here he got what he wanted. Races back home with all the adepts. Didn't lose any. And behind this, going into a heavy gateway count. Oh, okay. Do you see a Twilight Council? We're going for a 3-gate follow-up here. No council, by the way. So we're being hyper aggressive with vanilla gateway units. So the goal here for herO is to push across the map and to break through. Hyper aggression out of herO. Okay, going for a later Twilight Council. But again, he's going for the move out first. He's still going to be taking up. Just waiting for the prism, then it's time to move out. Catching out the Hellion. Hellion falls. The Hellion did not scout the Stalker move out. Back at home, what do you have to defend? No bunker. Yeah, no bunker. Likewise, no tank, no Cyclone either. First tank is now on the way. We have 3 Marauders. They're all, one of them is low. And with good enough control, herO, he might just break that natural. Clem, what does he see? What's the army? That's what it. Ooh, Hellion goes down, and Clem is still dropping. The bunker only just now began. The Marauders are exposed. And here's moving in. Here's moving in. He wants those Marauders. Boys being pulled. He gets 1. 1 Marauder goes down. There's 2 Marauders left. Warping in into the face of Clem. And no fear. No fear. But he's breaking through. He's breaking through. He's overwhelming. Tank just now pops out. The wall is exposed. Breaks down the depot. Ooh, just barely. He's dropping on the tank. He's dropping on the tank as well. He wants the tank, Bappy. Will not get it. Mass repair. Yeah, mass repair is barely going to be good enough. Or is it? He gets it. No, he gets the tank. The repairs were not good enough. Not like this. GG gets called, and herO takes game number 1. GG. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. As I mentioned, hyper aggression of herO. He delayed his Twilight Council. Very late Twilight Council. He went for the initial gate opener into 3-gate, into Rover, into Prism to rush across the map. And Clem didn't know. He wasn't aware as to what build he was up against. So he didn't know that herO was being as aggressive as he was. If he had realized ahead of time with his Hellion Scout or with a Reaper Scout, there was no Reaper Scout, of course, and the Hellion got shut down earlier. But if the Hellion was preserved, if the Hellion survived, if the Hellion confirmed the build, then we would have seen an earlier bunker. Earlier bunker means that we defend. Clem defends, Clem survives, and then the game continues from there. But without a bunker, there was no defense, there was no hold. GG, well played. herO takes the lead. Now we're getting ready for game number 2. We're getting ready. But again, a very intense game 1 here, all just very quickly snowballing out of control. And again, Clem just wasn't aware. He just wasn't aware of the commitment, of the aggression, wasn't aware of the timing of the tech, or what the tech even was. But let's go. Let us go. As up next, we're going to be loading into Tourmaline. Dropping in. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1, leading the series 1-0. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the French Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Here's Clem. Here we go. Welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is a much smaller map, a shorter rush distance by ground. We're expecting Clem to be the aggressor this time, but as I say that, herO also would want to fight for that aggression as well. So we're expecting a little more early game play, a little more early game aggression from both players, but we'll see how our players do adjust. We'll see how we adapt. But again, here he just had no chill last game. And likewise, it was also on Clem for bleeding out those Hellions as well. As that was the only real scatting that he could have achieved were with those Hellions. As they went down early. From here, once again, single gas opener, racks expand, economic start out of Clem. This can still lead into an aggressive mid game, but for the time being is economic. herO once again opening up Zealots. Okay. I mean, I should also bear in mind that herO doesn't go for as early of a probe scout. Last game, herO was reactive to the greed of Clem. This time he's doing it blindly. I mean, it's gonna work well, to be fair. Like, he's blindly sending it across the map, and blindly, Clem is going for the CC on low ground. So a bit of a gamble here from herO will pay off. Will pay off. Behind this, we have the Tech Lab follow-up. This time, it looks like an earlier Marauder. Yes, much earlier Marauder. As a reminder, last game, it was a Rax into Marine, into Tech Lab, into Factory, and the Marauder was a reaction to the Zealot. This time, we have a Marauder opener into 3 Rax, which means the Marauder is going to be faster. It means that Clem should be able to secure his natural that much quicker compared to game 1. So Clem is going to punish the punish. As herO does reveal himself. So does the Marauder. herO now knows. And here he still will delay. But now with the Marauders amassing, there's less damage being dealt. As the Zealot's being chased down. Stalker does come into... Sorry, the Adept does come in to reinforce. And will kill the Marine at least. Does he get the SV? Oh! Ooh, not quite. Yeah, the SV survives. We'll lose both the Adept and the Zealot. Clem defends, and Clem is going for that 3 Rax follow-up. That's stim timing. So a heavy stim timing is going to be on the way here. Hyper aggression out of Clem. herO going for the same build 2 games in a row. This time does hurt, but he reacts with the Dark Shrine. Did herO scout, by the way? No. Once again, a good read. For all herO knows, it could be Marauder into a 3rd CC, by the way, which I would favor Clem in that position if he was rushing to a 3rd CC, but Clem is not beyond, and is going for the 3 Rax. As a result, DTs work well here defensively. For those that are curious, as Marauders do threaten the natural, boys are being pulled. No safety battery, true. No battery, but herO he will hold, he will defend. I say that we're reinforcing with another Marauder. We're getting messy. Ooh, yeah, it does focus on 2 Marauders. herO he needs those warp-ins. But winding it back here, because of the sim timing, Clem should be muling, right? Clem, he's muling as hard as he can. That means that scan's going to be limited. He only has 2 CCs. He's muling his heart out. Another Marauder goes down. Proxy is finishing up. And do we have a scan available? He just muled once again. And Clem, he just muled. herO gets caught. herO overextends. Gets caught out. Here comes the Dark Templar. And currently there's going to be a scan at the natural. We're at 41 energy. There's soon to be a scan. Does he mule? That's the that's the big question. No, he mules. No, yeah, he just muled. He just muled 0 scans. 0 scans. DTs, they hit the natural. Yeah. He just muled in the main. That was the mule. So 0 detection. 0 detection. Clem is all in. He's all in. The boys are being pulled. Now we have a defensive DT as well. Oof. No, there's soon to be 1 skin available from the main CC. Where does he spend it? Where does he spend it? He's scanning home. He hasn't scanned yet. As he goes into the main base, he will lose the entire army. Boys are being pulled. We're still holding onto the scan. He's got a turret, true. He's got a turret back at home. Got a turret back at home. Nice stutter stepping. Does pick off 8 probes. But he gets cleaned up. And there's the scan. Yeah, there's that scan at the natural. Whew, okay, and where exactly are we? So we're getting messy, man. We're getting messy. Here he has 37 workers, but no 3rd expansion. Clem is on 2 bases with mules. I will say that Clem has the greater economy here. But what about when it comes to the main army? So Clem, he has no bunker. He has turrets to help when it comes to detection. Archons are morphing in as we speak. Here he's going for 1 big push. And without a bunker, it's going to be a messy defense. But at least he has stim, right? Like Clem, he has stim. He has combat shields. This bio army is very terrifying. It's very threatening. I'm not so certain that herO can break through. Not so certain. There's a lot of kiting potential with this bio army. Here's moving in. Does catch a free Marauder. Does catch 1. Charge is not complete. Needs a couple of seconds. 10 seconds away. Yeah, we're still 10 seconds away. Down to 2, down to 1. Charge is not complete. Warp in finishes. And we're getting ready for this round. Yeah, collapsing in the army. Ay, ay, ay. More zealots rallying in, and Clem gets completely caught out in the open. We spoke about this. No bunker. We spoke about this. There's no bunker in the main, and there's no bunker in the natural. Without a bunker, there is no defense. There's a wooden mine on the high ground. Archons, they move in. Massive Archon shots in the SCVs. A nice target firing there on the wooden mine on the Archon. That first Archon is low. Oof, here we're trying to force his way up the ramp. Oh god, not pretty. But he does break in. And that's 14 dead SCVs. Yeah, 14 dead workers. Critical economic damage. Clem will defend. He will survive. But at a cost. At a cost here. Oh, the micro. As Zel's taking it. No. Yeah, Zel's also rallying in. Collapsing on top of the Marauders. Oof. And Marauder goes down. And here has a third. Here's getting a third expansion. He's on 42 workers. Plus 1 is on the way. Warping in more zealots. Clem is hurting. He's hurting, Pappy. And it was just lured out in the open. Another warp in. More Archons. At this point, I would say that herO has to calm down. I don't think we need to push in like this. Like here, we're getting a third. Like we can just chill. we just calm down. We don't need to be here. As herO, he does threaten to push. We have Shadow Stride on the way. Okay. Blink for DTs. Once again, I don't think we necessarily need that, but okay. Bearing in mind, there are turrets. Remember, there's a turret here on the high ground. Like, DTs cannot really do much here. So Clem's been amassing his army. You're collapsing in. Has to respect that, wouldn't mind. Again, herO playing with fire. War Prism has arrived. Now we can micro. Now we can commit. The mine shot. Nice save on the zealot. Oh, nice retargeting. Mine shot goes off. Prism is low. The Marine, he wants it. Cute micro there from Clem. But the main army does overwhelm. Chargel's pushing in. Here come the reinforcements. The Prism did survive. Ooh. Yeah, the Archons, they try to push into the mineral line. Running out of zealots. Here it does overextend. Even recalling back home. Oh my god. Yeah, 6 probes. 6 turret kills. Does go for the recall. Here he's barely holding on. Across the map, that's going to be 21 SCVs. We're getting messy. But herO will defend. So will Clem, but Clem is down to 17 workers. Again, Clem, he barely has an economy. Those are fresh mules. Oh my god. They survive. Yeah, the fresh mules make it. Oof. That was still, how many? 9 probes? 19 in total. That was what, 9, 10 probes going down. And TTs are wreaking havoc. Remember, we just muled. Those are fresh mules. We did point that out. So no scans are available. And not yet. True, the Shadow Stride DTs. They're popping off, Pappy. Okay, we have a scan. We do have a scan available. They can blink away. They can blink away. And at this point, again, it's a bit of copium here from Clem. He's just taken so many losses here. These drops are annoying. They are very annoying, and they're definitely a nuisance, a thorn in herO's side. But for the most part, Clem has been crippled. And here's just being hyper efficient. Picking up more Marines. Once again, there are 0 scans. So 0 scan energy. Ravens on the way. If herO didn't have a third, then Clem for sure would have a chance here to recover and to build up a comparable army. But the third base is just huge for herO. Oh, denies the warp in. Again, these are nice moves. Very nice moves. Depowers the robo, denies the warp in. Raven is now out. Clem does have a comparable army, and it's good. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing here. Clem does not pull the boys, but he has built up a decent amount of Widow Mines. Prism rallies in. Gotta be careful. As here is reinforcing. Can the 5 Widow Mines do push forward? Oh, 1, 2 Widow Mines go down. Mine shields are being baited. There's 1 Widow Mine shield left. And now we just commit. Now we can commit in. The Archon a little bit late to the party here. The army, I should say. Marines, they do stim through the Zealots. We have more Zealots coming in, and herO overwhelms. herO overwhelms the army. Does take a mine shot to the face. But this is all that Clem has left. Oh, nice stim. Takes down the Prism. Prism goes down. Takes down the Immortal as well. Clem, he takes the fight. He's pushing through. Keep going. Ah, no. He's gonna keep going, but we have a warp pin. We have warp pins. We have reinforcements. This is all that Clem had left. GG. GG gets called. The herO, he will take a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, it came down to the fact that herO, he had a third, right? He had a third base. He had a boosted economy. So even with Clem fighting his heart out, herO could afford it. He could afford those trades. He can still keep warping in. herO could still keep going. Clem could not. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now loading into game number 3. herO, he's up 2-0, and does herO close out herO now? Can Clem fight back and make a series out of this? The pressure is on Clem. Let's go. Let us go. Pressure's on. And we're loading into Winter Madness. If you recall, I was favoring Clem on these smaller maps, winding it back when it came to this game as well. Remember, Clem, he was going for a stim timing. He was going for a 3-rack stim timing. He just never got to hit it. He never got to hit the timing because of the opener, because of the DT follow-up as well, that Arc Templar. Winding it back, that's a very common kind of maneuver against 3-rack stim, just because your scans are so limited, and you saw that come into play, right? You saw that Clem, more often than not, he did not have scans available, and the DTs were a massive nuisance, dealing harassing damage, and also defending back at home, and that's how herO was able to gain a lead and maintain his lead as well, crippling Clem. But now we're loading into Winter Madness, loading into game 3, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Going for the proxy because god damn it. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Terran player. We have the French Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. Welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness, what I was about to say is this is a larger map, longer resistance by ground. We often see a lot of mid-game on Winter Madness, and I do favor the Protoss typically coming into the mid to late game in TVP. I was going to say that it's going to be more difficult for Clem to be the aggressor, but instead herO is the aggressor with the initial proxy, still technically on herO's side of the map, but this is to go for a proxy Zealot to race across and to once again delay the economy of Clem. This is a big gamble. herO basically, he's hoping that Clem is going for a single gas, and every game in this series, including this one, single gas opener. So economic build here by Clem, higher chance he goes for the low ground CC, and if he does, hero's going to be there to punish. Here comes the command center. CC on the low ground. No, hold on, my apologies. There we go. CC on the low ground, and here comes the Zealot. Oh boy. Clem is going for his SCV scout across the map. The Zealot is now out. He'll have 2 Zealots and then the Adept follow-up. And again, the Ghost of Force are cancelled. There's going to be 1 Marine to defend. This time it is racks into factory. There's no Tac Lab. There's no Marauder follow-up this time. So it's going to be a much more difficult defense for Clem. The Zealot's moving in. Clem, he will at least delay the Nexus. True. Here he has the money for it. He wants the Nexus. He wants it. Marine is zoned away. Ooh, SCV goes down. And here is swiping away at the wall. There's that concussive shell. Very similar to game 1. Very similar to game 1 here. As Clem, ideally, he wanted to go for the add-on soul, but he's forced to make the Marauder. And he's going to have to cancel here. Oh, so much damage is being dealt. Stalker's on the way. Clem, he has to fight for his CC. He's got to fight for it. He's being lured down to low ground. Stalker comes in. The boys are being pulled. And can we get on top of the Marine? The other Marine. He pulls away. Oh no. One shot away. The Marine does fall. In the end, Clem will clean this up eventually, but we have another Stalker in production. Yeah, the Stalker's rallying in. Again, can he force a cancel? That's the ideal for herO. CC's getting very low. Ooh, couple more volleys. Oh my god, takes down the SCV. Has to respect the Marauders though. He's got to respect it. Stalkers pull away, bearing in mind that CC is going to be very low. And if herO plays this well enough, he might even just get a kill. Does bypass the Hellions. Yeah, Hellions, they move out across the map. Stalkers moving in. Marauders are getting very low here. One Marauder goes down to 2. Down to 1. One Marauder. Hellions get across. They do get across. Probes are going down. Nice counter damage. There's one Stalker to defend. That's going to be, what, 4 or 5 probe kills. We have somewhat of a back and forth. CC still not yet done. Yeah, still not yet complete. They trade. They trade 1-to-1. Clem, he does come out on top of this trade. Takes down the Stalker. Clem is holding, and the CC finishes. It finishes. Finally. Yeah, it does complete the CC. Behind this is going to be 2 Marauders and a Hellion. Oh boy. In a couple of moments, we're going to have a Cyclone that will help immensely. But until then, Clem is in trouble. He's going for the tank. He's going for the tank instead. Again, that command center is getting very low. Once again, because the CC is so low, here he's forcing Clem to come down to him. He's forcing Clem. There are the repairs. Oh! Marauders, they move down. He wants the Marauders. He wants them. Tank has arrived. Okay, now with the tank he holds. Clem, he does hold on. Tank shot goes up. Catching out a Stalker. But the tank is still out of range. Has to move in. He's got to move in. Does zone herO away. herO trades. Does catch the Marauder in the end. Whew. And Clem, he had to fight so hard for this, but finally he secures his natural. Now the concern here is Blink. Blink is almost complete, and Clem, he fought so hard for his natural. With Blink, herO, he can go into the main. He can go into the main base. Speaking of high ground vision, he's going for the main. There is a tank repositioning here on top of the high ground, but the main base is exposed. Yeah, the main is exposed. Heli moves out. Here comes the Blink. He can one-shot SCVs, and he will. SCVs are going down. Clem is being torn apart. He cannot keep up. His Hellions doing what he can. He's doing what he can here, but this is critical damage. Critical damage here. 6 SCV kills. 6 SCVs, more Marines. Here he's forced out of the main. But here he's up 13 workers. 13 SCVs from here. Here he can just expand, get a 4th base, and just macro from here. But it's herO, so he's probably just gonna reinforce. Just apply more pressure. Here comes that War Prism. Here he moves out. And Clem has been crippled. It's been crippled. From here, there's a world where, okay, if herO overextends, which has happened before, it's not uncommon for herO, actually. But if herO overextends, if he takes a bad fight, then Clem can look to stabilize. But again, Clem, he's hoping and he needs herO to make mistakes. herO doesn't, he doesn't expand. Okay, there we go. Third base on the way. Here he wants that tank. Blinks in, he gets 1, he gets 2. Yeah, he gets both tanks. Nice staggered shots. Takes down both tanks. Boys are being pulled. And herO trades well. Yeah, he trades well here. Gets behind the mineral line. Mistakes will not be made. Scan reveals the 3rd. Clem just taking in the game state. Just taking it in. And now here's going for the dive. Going for the final dive. Low ground tank goes down. There's one tank left on the high ground. Massive tank shots here on the stalkers. Ooh, herO does overextend. Okay. herO overextends. Bleeds out stalkers. Messy fight for herO. Very messy. Getting messy, Packy. And Clem defends. Yeah, Clem does defend again. That final dive from herO was not worth it. Sure, he killed the tank, but he bled out so many stalkers in the process. That was 7 stalkers going down. But he keeps dropping. Yeah, he keeps dropping. This helps make up for it. Going for another warp in, getting into the middle line, and catching another 5 SCVs. Prism does go down. Prism goes down. We have the slow lots. They're still so slow. Get out of here, Colossus. What are you doing? And Clem, he will defend. He will defend. He will survive, of course. But behind this, hero's on full 3. He's getting up to full 3-base saturation. To Colossus, building up his gateway army. Charge is now finally on the way. It's very late. It's very delayed. And here comes Clem. It's all or nothing. He's got 3 tanks. He has stim. Okay, true. Here come the boys. I mean, what else can we do, right? Like, there's no macroing out of this. There's no way for Clem to macro. He has to end it here and now. Colossus, they get some free swipes off. Oof. Force Shields, they zone back the SCVs. Yeah, SCVs are zoned away. Tanks still looking exposed. Those boys are moving in. Nice drop here into the mineral line. Does peel off some units. Probes are going down. Viking, free damage on the Colossus as well. He's doing what he can. The Viking is going to be zoned away. And now here he can collapse him. Yeah, he can just flank him from both sides. He goes for it. We got 3 Colossus. Yeah, massive swipes going off. There's the 1 Viking. Tanks are being focused down. And with that, Clem, he will lose everything here. The final push, the final army. GG, well played. And herO, he will claim the series 3-0, becoming this week's Kung Fu Cup number 5 champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. herO, he does pop up. Hyper aggression every single game. Proxies, cheese, DTs, Shadow Stride. We saw a lot of early game. We saw very little mid game. I don't think we ever got up to proper like 3-base versus 3-base, like a proper mid game situation. Just non-stop aggression from both Clem and herO. And in the end, herO did come out on top. Once again, herO, he was so flexible with his play. Even I'm still thinking about game 2, for example, where herO, he blindly just assumed that Clem would be going for an economic build. All 3 games, actually. If you remember, there were 2 times, game 2 and game 3, where herO was assuming that Clem would go Rax expand on the low ground, and every single time Clem was punished. Every single time herO would gain momentum, would gain control, would gain a lead early on, and would punish the attempted greed from Clem. GG. GG, well played. That's typically how the ball would start to get rolling, and then it just snowballed from there. We did see a couple of different diverse follow-ups from Clem, going for, say, 3-Rax stim, going for the stim follow-up on Tourmaline, but that is where, if you recall, herO scouted, he confirmed, he reacted with DTs, which, again, is a solid follow-up, a solid reaction to 3-Rax stim. DTs, they excelled on Tourmaline, and GG. GG, well played. Again, herO all over Clem. Congratulations, herO does claim the series and is going to be the Kung Fu Cup week number 5 champion. GG. GG, well played. This guy's such a gamer. Yeah, I mean, he's the best Protoss in the world, papi. Aye, aye, aye. Likewise, Clem being the best Terran in the world, there's no shame in going down to herO whatsoever. Likewise, when it comes to like players like herO, players like Maru, Clem, Cyril, Raynor, they do trade, they go blow for blow. This week, herO may have taken down Clem 3-0, but I'm sure the next time they face, Clem will be able to have a stronger showing. I'm sure. They often do trade. But otherwise, GG, well played. With that, we are going to be wrapping up here for the evening. Quickly checking our schedule here. We do have some updates, by the way. Quickly heading on over. This is the GSL week. GSL does begin this week, so does RSL. And originally, we were going to be hosting some replay casts of GSL over the weekend. But we have confirmation. I don't know if you noticed, but I was a little bit distracted. I think it was either during the semis or during the finals. I think it was during the semis. during Hero versus Rogue, I don't know if you noticed, but I was a little bit distracted. I was just responding to some DMs, and I have confirmation that we are going to be live casting GSL. So we do have to adjust this schedule here. This schedule is not reflective of what we're going to be doing this week. Originally, it was going to be replay cast over the weekend, but no, instead we're going to be live casting over on Soup. So if you are interested in the GSL coverage, we are going to be one of the side streams. I'm still going to be casting it live, of course. There's still going to be the main stream with Tasteless and with State, with Tasteless and State and the other casters they did do acquire. But we are going to be casting as well over on our own channel, over on Soup, over on the CranKy Ducklings. So we're going to be also casting with a clean feed, so you can tune into our live coverage over on Soup. That does mean that we are going to be having the VODs available on YouTube most likely the next day. So the next morning. So we do have to adjust this schedule. We're going to be moving the GSL live coverage to Wednesday and Thursday, and then the VODs will be available on Thursday and Friday in the mornings. It does mean that, as you can see, basically we're going to be swapping. You can see the Euthermal TV2, the Euthermal TV2 cast on Friday, and the StarCraft Evolution, the SEL cast on Thursday. Those two casts are going to be moved to the weekend. We're basically swapping that over to the weekend, and GSL is going to be in that place instead. So we're just swapping everything over. Yes, exclamation mark Soup in the chat. True. That is our Soup channel. That is where we are going to be live casting GSL. And again, that'll be throughout the course of this week, next week, and every week thereafter. All the GSL coverage. Likewise, we still have, I mean, in the end, we're still casting the same events, just going to be moving things over and shifting things around when it comes to our schedule. Just adds a heads up. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. If you want to tune into the VODs of everything that we do cast, and again, we cast everything available. Essentially, we cast more StarCraft than Wardy, more StarCraft than Steadfast. We cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there. Then you can check us out over on YouTube. Exclamation mark YouTube. VODs are uploaded on a daily basis. Plenty of VODs, plenty of content over on our YouTube channel. Likewise, you can also check us out live here on Twitch, or you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all things CranKy Ducklings. Otherwise, we're going to be heading off for the time being. You can also support us via Patreon. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments on a regular basis. As you can see here, this week Tuna Cup is not on the weekend. It's going to be pushed to a weekday because of RSL, and GSL, and again, it's just a really intense schedule for StarCraft for the next couple of months with non-stop RSL and GSL, which we also do cover. Does mean that some of our events are going to be pushed to weekdays. For Tuna Cup and Pondcast is going to be moved around as well. We do have to adjust. We do have to accommodate. Otherwise, stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live at the moment? Who can we send everyone over to? Let us have a look. Let's have a look, Pappy. We can give some love to Oldmate, sort of. Yeah, Este, sort of. We'll give him some love. We'll give him some support. Before he ends the stream. True. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some Pegasus Cup action and for GSL. True, GSL begins tomorrow. It's gonna be an intense evening. See you then, papi. See you then. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi. Ciao. Hasta luego.